что
Thank you.
все может быть. О, отлично.
Welcome back,
Начинаем.
everyone. This is ESA Summer 21. We are raising money for Save the Children, a wonderful organization dedicated to helping millions of children around the world. You can find links to donate below the stream. Thank you again to Twitch and ViewSonic for sponsoring this event. I'm going to pass it off to blueharvey as they show off Final Fantasy IV.
Hello ESA and welcome to this year's ESA Summer 2021. Thank you to OnlyKate for this lovely introduction for this run. I have with me two amazing commentators, Bendesh and Mitaka. They both will help me go through this run because I don't think I can commentate for 4 hours in a row without having a sore throat. So I definitely need two people lending me a hand with that. And yeah.
Вот сейчас ран отмечает, что ему нужно 2 помощника, чтобы этот ран осуществить, поэтому у него 2 комментатора.
Но будет слишком сконцентрирован и не сможет сам объяснять все.
Then we have to fight two floating eyes. Both of them have 40 HP.
Ну, здесь это связано с тем, что это ран финалки, ему стоит совершить 2 ошибки, и добро пожаловать плюс 30 минут к эстимейт.
Just like now. It's kind of a bummer that we can't consistently do 40 damage, so it is one of the biggest reset points in the entire run, just because you can lose 10 seconds within the first 10. So, a little explanation as to why I'm running normal mode as opposed to hard mode. I actually started with running hard mode because I translated the Japanese DS run like between 2016 and 2019. It took me 3 years to finish. I translated that run within 3 years. And that was on DS, and the DS version only has hard mode. So if you played the DS version, you actually only played the hard mode version of Final Fantasy IV. So I'm technically playing the easier version with playing normal, but it's still not very easy. It's still pretty difficult. But yeah, that took quite some time and effort, and the reason why I'm running normal mode now is because Bendesh and the current world record holder, Quasbomb, amazing people. They were working their arms off to get this new route on, and had got to the game and gave us a lot of new route changes, which increased, or should I say decreased, the time of this run by a ton. Absolute shout outs to those guys, absolutely amazing people. Okay, and after this short little cutscene intro, we're gonna change the battle speed on Cecil.
Ранее рассказал то, что на NES не было выбора сложности, там был только хард. И казалось бы, мы тут с нормалом играем в easy мод, но все еще можно умереть, все еще можно получить время за estimate. Так что надо быть осторожным.
Кстати, нашел ответ, почему тут плюс 2 часа к эстимейту, практически, ну даже больше, потому что any процент у финалки еще меньше. Оказывается, в этой части переработали очень многое. Именно вся графика переделана относительно оригинальной игры. Куча доработок, потому что если бы бегали версию 91-го года, то было бы еще веселее. Of them being Kane, Rosa, and of course our favorite character, which returns in every single. Ну логично, кстати. Я тут смотрю комментарии к этому рану относительно предыдущих. Тут даже нет этого манипуляции с сидом, чтобы не получать рандом энкаунтеров.
Да, и они тоже немного отличаются.
It would still stay Cecil. I can type in anything I want, it just stays Cecil for the entire playthrough. Just kind of a bummer. But, yeah, what you gonna do? Okay, probably the two most annoying cutscene skips in the entire run coming up right now. Also, if you see my cursor, that it's because of the cutscene skips. It's actually more precise to skip the cutscenes with the mouse, because there's, due to the latest update, I don't know why, but for some reason in the latest update, there's like a delay if you want to do the cutscene skips, and it's very laggy and, you know, the slow stuff, the not fast stuff. So we take the chocobo and go to our first dungeon, the Mist Cave. And here in the Mist Cave, we will find this mapping way guy, which we saw earlier, who wanted to change our name. But since he didn't change our name, he just gave us a map instead, because this is something that the remake has, which I don't think the SNES version has. Mitako could fill me in on that, because I never played the SNES version, but he has.
Yeah, that is correct. There is no dungeon map or anything to follow you along in the Super Nintendo version.
Ну вот сейчас комментаторы отмечают то, что в SNES-версии нет карты подземелья, которая есть в ремейке.
We were super lucky and didn't get a single random encounter, so we started off really good. And Mist Dragon is a little bit sketchy, because it's a fight where we have to survive with Cecil and kill Kane at the end of it, so we can get all the EXP on Cecil. And what just happened right now was really bad. We don't want that Mist Dragon attacks while one other person attacks and the other is still in the queue, because this messes up ATP quite a bit. So Mist Dragon, another one. Mist Dragon has a total of 556 HP.
Будет немного сложный бой. Нам надо убить Каина. Поставить только Сесила.
Come on. Yes, right before dissolving into mist. Perfect. Okay, good. Mist Dragon should be...
Ладно, давай ставку делай.
Ложимся ли в Steammate или нет?
Kane now went until his ATB is filled up. Redarkness Cecil, because darkness is a little bit different in this version. It actually boosts your attack instead of being...
Даже вложимся ли в 3.50, учитывая, что время раннера даже 3.37.
But because it bots your attack, you also take return damage for the extra attack, or the extra damage you deal for Mist Dragon. One more hit and we should be good. And that's Mist Dragon, the first boss in the run. That's a pretty nice time. Okay, wanna change battle speed again.
Да, победа.
Battle speed to slow, and then we go to...
Больше опыта Сесил, потому что дальше играть не будем с ним.
We can't do the glitch in this version. There are other means of dealing damage in this run. So yeah, this is quite different from the SNES version, and since Mitako here is our expert for the SNES run, you might be a bit surprised seeing a couple of things which are completely different in this version as opposed to the SNES run. So yeah, I would love to hear what
Это немного нескипаемая сцена, так что нам придется ее посмотреть.
What you know.
I mean, if I know anything about Final Fantasy, I'm expecting levels and really tight execution in battles. But yeah, there's an interesting thing here. So basically what's happened is that, so we're part of the Red Wings, and in the intro
сейчас начинается пересказ сюжета о том, что мы относимся к красным крыльям. Если я правильно помню имя, Сесил Харви зовут нашего главного героя. Он у нас капитан барона Красных Крыльев был.
And we're supposed to deliver the ring, and it actually turns out that the ring's got monsters inside it, and it starts destroying the town that little girl Reddy is from. So it's a really kind of like dark opening to the story, but yeah, in the Super Nintendo version, we've got a really cool 10 skip we can do, and we enter the Village of Mist from the wrong side, which doesn't instantly trigger the fights with Riddy and Titan there, the summoner. So we were able to do a little bit of shopping with a glitched inventory, which gets us really powerful items really early on.
SNES-версия от PC-версии тем, что в SNES, если зайти в город с другой стороны, это позволяет нам сделать глич инвентаря, с помощью чего мы закупаемся. Так что различия начинаются в этой версии буквально с первого города.
Incredible things that we can do in this run that are not even which are not possible in any other run or any other version of FF4. Well, I can't vouch for the
Чатик
Pixel
настолько
remaster
хочет
because they
ставок,
dropped in
что
like 10
готов
hours from
учить ран
this run.
ради ставок.
Ура!
And FF4 is even part of that, so I don't know if that is a glitch there as well. So we have yet to figure out. So yeah, next are these guards that we have to fight, and what we do is use Red Fang, and we just wait.
Уже не разделяется.
They're always outspeeding us, even in hard mode. In hard mode, this is actually also a reset point, because you could under damage if they deal too much damage to you. So I came up with an idea, like what if you would use defend at the start, so all three get their attacks off, and once you defend, they deal less damage to you, and then use Red Fang. I haven't ran hard mode in like a year or maybe 2 even, so there's still a ton of improvement to be done for that run. I would say sub 4 hours is probably doable for hard mode. Okay, so the next shop right here, we have to sell everything except Iron Shield. Iron Shield is a very important item that we need later on. Emergency exit, 6 potions, and the Maiden's Kiss. We leave the inn, and then we go to the top right place, to this little hut here. And then we see Rosa being in a bed, being sick. And she has like terrible fever and everything. And we are going on a journey to find something to cure her. In the meantime, the game
наша девушка Роза следовала за нами, и она приболела.
Так что тут небольшое уточнение, то что это наша подруга детства. Пока что. Пока что. Спойлеры заходить пока не надо. Нам надо чем-то заполнять эфир еще 4 часа.
Ну, подруги детства, они везде одни и те же. С ними всегда заканчивается все очень хорошо.
Но сейчас по сюжету мы, по идее, должны будем отправиться за кольцом волшебным, как я помню. И нас уже лишили звания, если я ничего не путаю. Так что наше путешествие начинается через 20 минут игрового сюжета.
Once we get Fusoya and Engine of Babil and before Zeromus, which is the final boss. Another reason, which Bendesh might be able to talk a little bit more about, is something that we call RNG manipulation. This game has RNG manipulation, but the way it's done is mind-boggling. Like, I myself don't even completely understand how it works. Bendesh is your specialist for that, so you would probably have to ask him.
Yeah, it's really tedious, honestly. Like, to successfully RNG manipulate this game, like the RNG seed is decided the second you start the game. So if you change your system time on your PC and open the game at the correct second, then you'll get the same RNG. So with that you can like brute force the RNG, see if you get
something good. В ремейке остался RNG Manipulation Glitch, только работает он по-другому. У игры есть значения случайные, которые уже предопределены, но определяются они от времени системы. То есть, если вы запустите игру на своей системе в определенное время, в определенную секунду, у вас всегда будет один и тот же RNG паттерн в игре. We kind of fear that it might screw up with the entire setup to like stream the entire thing at the ESA Marathon.
В покемонах мы сегодня наблюдали такую же систему.
Rather not want to show it off on stream or on this marathon, because we don't want tech to be stressed out because something is not working because I changed my PC clock.
Сейчас вот, кстати, отмечают то, что они это не используют в ране текущем из-за того, что это марафон, и они не хотят рисковать, что что-то пойдет не так из-за того, что они поменяли время на своем ПК.
There is what we call
Так
a
что
strategy that we call
теперь это
QSRL,
преимущество
which
во
is
времени
quick save reload.
в реальной
And
жизни
this
влияет на
quick
игру.
save reload strat
Ну, кстати, по
is, I
сравнению со
think,
SNES-версией,
I can't
эта
recall if it was
манипуляция вообще не
dash or
вызывает
I
никаких
certainly
проблем.
tested that the first
Потому что
time
на
and figured
SNES,
it out.
чтобы
It was
успешно
plus, okay.
Yeah.
сделать
So
манипуляцию
Paz
для
figured
того,
this
чтобы у
out
тебя был
and was like,
82-й сид,
there is
который
like a
позволяет тебе
pattern
избегать
at
энкаунтеров в
how
начале
many
игры.
seconds after you get an
Если я
encounter, the
правильно
next
помню
encounter will
последовательность
appear.
действий, мы создаем сейф.
And he felt like there's like
После
a
этого
pattern of like
сейва
11 seconds
мы
after
идем
you
в
get an
энкаунтер,
encounter. That's the average amount of
пересохраняемся,
time which
выключаем
lasts between
систему,
encounters.
после чего мы
And
должны загрузиться на
if you
начальном экране, где у нас
save and
будет
quit or quick
определенный
save
сид.
and reload, that's what I mean.
После
If you
этого
quick save and
сида
reload the game,
мы
after those 11 seconds
идем
after
ресетиться.
you did a QSRL,
После
quick save
ресета
reload,
мы
or
получаем
you just
81-й
had an
сид.
encounter,
И там, я
then you
четко
should
помню, надо сделать
supposedly
10 шагов,
bypass the next
ресетнуться, сделать 5
encounter.
шагов, умереть в
However, nothing of
энкаунтере,
that is
и
completely
тогда у нас
proven.
будет
It's
нужный
just
сид для
theory
раны.
stuff. It's just
Но
like
это рост
stuff
процент,
that
который я
was
знаю
stuff
для
with that's
SNES-версии
null.
финалки.
If someone in chat is actually very good with like looking into code and like knows stuff how encounters work in games and stuff, feel free to contact us and help us because we have no idea how that works, and we would love to be able to RNG manipulate the encounters in an easy way or easier way to be more preferable. So yeah, if any one of you is very knowledgeable in that field, feel free to contact us because we have no idea, and this could save a lot of time and a lot of nerves and a lot of resets.
Yeah, just to add, like each encounter takes about at least 8 seconds before you're able to move again. But a quick save only takes about 4 seconds. So in theory, if you were able to quick save right before every encounter, you would save 4 seconds all the time. But obviously, when you get an encounter, it's completely random. So we need to like say, okay, every 10 seconds we should try to do it. But it's like different for each area, and it's really complicated to like calculate without having access to code.
Cool if I fit in a couple of donations.
Of course, of
Пока что
course.
читают донаты,
Alright, we
можно
have
объяснить то, что
$55.55
рассказывали
from
сейчас
Alpha
комментаторы,
Centauri.
о том, что энкаунтер
And
занимает
then
у
we
вас
also
8 секунд
have
минимум,
$35 from
чтобы убежать.
Poetics164
Но если
saying,
сможете
"A
предвидеть
huge
все
thank you
энкаунтеры
to
в
all
игре
the tech crew who keep the
и будете
events
нажимать
looking and
Quick
behaving
Save
so
перед тем,
smoothly
как
throughout the
получите
runs.
энкаунтер,
Your
вы
work
можете
is
сразу
seen."
нажимать Quick Load, и энкаунтера перед вами не будет, что экономит 4 секунды за каждый такой мув. Поэтому, если у
You
вас
can
есть
go for
навыки
like
ванги,
more.
довольно эффективные, вы можете сэкономить очень много времени,
Alright,
потому что
I'll
каждый
actually just use
энкаунтер
that
будет
time to
вам
remind
экономить
everyone that
4
Save the
секунды
Children's bold
квиклоудом.
ambition builds on 100 years experience in bringing communities,
Ну
civil
или просто
society,
иметь
governments,
фотографическую
businesses,
память.
and donors together
А
in
они
achieving
рандомные.
lasting
В
change
этом
for
как бы вся
children.
проблема.
As
То,
a global
что
leader in saving newborn lives,
если
Save the Children
бы надо
continues to
было
be at
иметь
the forefront
фотографическую
of
память, я
worldwide
уверен,
efforts
нашелся бы
to
раннер,
end
который бы это сделал.
preventable child deaths with a focus on maternal, newborn, and child health and
Потому что
nutrition.
это все ранится там 1000 раз. Так или иначе, даже
Alright, so
механически
we're
можно
coming up
запомнить.
probably the worst boss in the game, in my opinion, which is
Мы даже не
Octomabov.
считаем
I
шаги.
need quite a bit of concentration
Да.
for that fight, so
Даже
I'll
шаги
let
не помогут.
Bendash and
Поэтому
Taco
SNES-версия
take
гораздо
over
лучше.
for
Раньше
this fight,
SNES-версию.
because I have to completely concentrate, because it's a really, really annoying fight to do correctly the first try. Okay, yeah.
Okay,
Dash,
so
take it away.
of course. The gimmick with this boss is that he's got like a lot of tentacles, and as you deal more and more HP, he will start to lose the
Так сказать,
tentacles, so
второй
you can
босс.
gauge how much HP's got left. So right away, Harvey wants to poison him, which he just did, which is very nice. That's not a guarantee. That will continuously damage him throughout the entire battle. And the timing, once again, he wants only Cecil to gain all
Нам
of the
повезло.
experience from this fight. So
Наш
at the
маг
very end, he wants to
отравил
kill
его.
off Tella and Rydia. But the problem with this is that
В принципе, мог
when he
даже и
gets
не
low on
отравить.
health,
Есть такая
its attack
вероятность.
stat gets like tripled or something. Like Tella says that a wounded
По идее,
beast
его
is the
должны
dangerous
травить
one.
до тех пор, пока
And
он не отравится,
Then
из-за
it
того,
just
что
starts
это
dealing
постоянный
crazy
дэмэдж
damage.
на весь файт.
So he needs to
И
kill off
количество
his
щупалец,
characters
кстати,
at the
показывает
same
хп
time
босса.
as
Потому что чем
making sure
меньше
he won't
щупалец, тем
die.
меньше у него хп.
And that's a tricky balance to maintain throughout this fight. So he needs to like balance, like he has good heals from Tella, and also this spell right here, Blink, which it makes the character any attack physical attack will miss. Just like that. And that will work twice. After that, blink wears off. There we go, Rydia is already dead. She doesn't do anything in this fight. It's mostly just Cecil and Tala.
Сейчас мы потеряли нашу
So
подругу
far,
детства Ридию,
it's
но она
looking
все равно
good.
в файте бесполезна, так что это невелика потеря.
Нет.
Also because the fight is so long,
Она нам не
darkness
подруга
will wear
детства,
off at
она
some point from Cecil, so needs to
единственная выжившая.
revive it in
А,
order
за
to keep
деревню,
up
а,
the
все,
damage.
Да.
да.
And here we got
Роза у нас.
Роза, да,
cutscene
Ридия,
or
Роза.
Tala talking
Все.
about how the monster's gonna
А
get
Ридия,
stronger.
она
It almost feels
просто сильная призывательница.
Ну да, она саммонер по
Ой.
жопе.
Yeah, carry on. Sorry.
okay, sorry.
I tried to meme. And it
Okay.
didn't work.
Yeah, it almost feels like the boss gets stronger because Tala like says it will get stronger. Feels a bit weird. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, darkness just wore off there.
Attack Tella, please. Wait, actually no. Attack Cecil once.
Ooh, okay.
I don't know if
Так,
we have two
надеюсь,
misses left on
О,
Blink.
нет,
Because if
Тела.
we don't, then we might be in big
Тела
trouble.
тоже
If this is the
отъехал.
last attack. Oh my god.
Вот
Окей.
сейчас, кстати,
We
будет
might be in big
unlucky
trouble. Might.
момент, если он
Yes.
Just
умрет.
might.
Ну там одно щупальце осталось,
I think
так
we
что
are.
босс почти помер.
You need to survive another
Да.
hit.
Uh-oh.
I'm not sure if you
Come
will.
on,
О,
please
не-не-не.
don't crit. I think
Oh
we're
my
dead.
god.
Кажется,
Oh
сейчас мы
my
попрощаемся.
god!
Oh.
No,
О.
don't miss.
О.
God!
Oh wow.
На одном хп.
Very nice.
Соло.
Could not be
First
improved.
try.
Керил прямо на одном хп.
Oh my god.
Вот это
Даже не
застан-
вспотел.
I hate
Да.
this fight. This is why I hate this fight. Oh my god. Ah. Also,
Выживший.
now we're coming up to Damsane Castle, and before we get to our favorite cutscene in the entire game,
Хороший ран
we'll
идет.
actually loot the Damsane
Уже с
Castle.
самого начала становится
They have
интересно.
already been bombed, so let's loot them.
Ну,
That's
выжить на
scary.
одном хп
But
это
yeah,
прям
they have a
сильно.
couple of chests
Кстати, а
in
в
their
этой части
dungeons
мы
that
не
they,
используем
allow us
метеор
to, give us.
для массовой
If we go to
аннигиляции.
the,
Потому
east
что у Риди
entrance,
точно
we
должен быть
will,
этот спел, как у Саммонера.
or should I say the castle dungeons, we will go to this downer area
А,
and
стоп,
take
ее,
those
по идее,
two
кстати,
chests,
слишком много
once the
качать
Phoenix
придется.
down
Так
and
что да.
once the ether, then go to the lower left corner and get an elixir. And then
Дальше потратил на
Метеор
we
храм.
вряд ли.
will
Ну вот я тоже
go
так
out again,
прикинул,
and
что
then we
слишком
walk
много
to the
качать
right,
на
so we
это.
are instantly out again, and then we go in again, and then we will go or walk to the center of the Damascene Castle, where we will meet someone and see something that a lot of people are familiar with, and a lot of people know and probably meme about a lot. Also, on the occasion, as I can talk right now, a lot of people might not know, but I am someone who's actually very good in modeling stuff, and I actually made a model for Edward, as you can see right here, the perfect model of a Edward, as you can see right here. Absolutely perfect. Doesn't he look amazing? The Spoony Bard? Like, absolutely amazing. Yeah. Love this Edward. Love it. Absolutely amazing. Yeah. Yeah, there's a little of downtime, so if there are any donations, then feel free to take it away.
Well, how about we add a little bit of incentivizing to people who are probably thinking about donations. If you, over the course of the entirety of the marathon, do
Ребят,
donate a
не забывайте
cumulative
голосовать, делать
$50, you
ставочки.
can enter to win a Sony
На этот раунд.
PlayStation 5 with Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart.
Довольно напряженное голосование, кстати.
There are a couple of ViewSonic monitors that you could be entered
Так,
to win
у меня слишком много
for
поинтов.
$25 cumulatively or $35 cumulatively. There's also the Nintendo
Почти что
Switch
50 на
Custom
50.
Pro controller
Нет, тут
that you can get
не проблема в том, что 50 на
cumulatively
50.
donating
Это
$30.
Final Fantasy, а рано Final
And
Fantasy
then we have
на марафонах
the
обычно
Bomberman
проходят так, что они
Beat
заканчиваются на
Sprite,
2 часа
which
по
all you
очереди
have to do is
стиммейта.
cumulatively over
Это же
the
марафон.
course of the entire marathon donate up to
Да.
$10.
Ну ты разве не веришь в чудеса?
Okay, this is the end of the favorite Spoonie board
Я,
cutscene.
пожалуй,
We skip that,
воспользуюсь
and then we
правом
suddenly
ставки на
emerge
красное
out
и
of
закину
the
там чуть-чуть
sands
поинтов.
with an air gummy boat. I don't know the correct English word for it, but I think it's an air gummy boat. So we will make ourselves.
Я выровнял 50 на 50 теперь прогноз.
Go to
Ура.
Magic, Cure, Radia, and Cecil. I actually didn't fully heal Cecil. That's very bad.
Закинул немного, так что особо не
Then we
проиграю.
change party and so party formation Radia to the lowest slot. Settings change to battle speed slow, and then we go to the endlines then.
Кстати,
So,
все
to
забывал
explain
отметить
why
то,
I
что он
just
периодически
changed
переключается на
the
скорость
battle
боя
position
в
or
меню,
party
то,
formation
что позволяет
for,
игра,
Radia.
для того, чтобы
That's
в боях, где
because
ему
of
надо
how,
принимать
characters
решения довольно
join your
быстро, он
party.
использует минимальную
The
скорость, а в боях,
characters
где можно
always
все
join at
проскипать,
the
он использует
top
максимальную.
slots
Из-за того,
of
что время
your
хода противника
party. Like if your most
тоже
top
зависит
slot
от
is empty
того,
in your party,
насколько вы
then
активны.
the next character which will join will be in that slot exactly. And the next party
Ну как,
member
это
who will
больше
join,
помогает в
will be
энкаунтер,
Rosa,
потому что мы можем быстрее
as we
сбежать.
get back from endline stand and give her the sand pearl. She will join the party and will fill up the top slot. However, that is in the back row, which is intended. The reason why we do it actually is not because of Rosa herself. We
Ну
actually
это
do it
не
because of
критично.
Yang.
Для
Because when
побега в
Rosa
Final
joins to the
Fantasy это
top in
нормально.
the back row, when she joins the
Да.
party,
Самое ироничное, я
Yang
помню,
will
как
then join,
раннер
in the lower slots
девятки
of
шел
the
на
party.
ВР,
However, he will
он
join
нажал
the front
побег
row, which
на
is
довольно сильных мобах, и они просто убили всю его пати во время побега. Это был самый грустный ресет.
Okay, so we're coming up on endline 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the staircases I'm counting, and then we change the battle speed back to fast. As you might have seen, I've picked up the chest earlier, which is spider silk. The spider silk is needed during the endline fight to slow endline down.
Поменяли скорость обратно.
It's quite hard, and we do not want to get hit hard during this fight. Like, optimally, we don't want to get hit hard.
Так, Antline, 2000 хп.
And use Hermes sandals with Cecil, which we got a little bit earlier. Okay, Rydia is dead, so we don't have to do anything with her. Hermes sandals with him. And once slow lands and we have Hermes sandals on, we immediately go into darkness
Rydia уже мертва.
and attack when Antline's eyes are
Ну это ее практически постоянное состояние во многих боях.
Ну, на самом деле, не очень страшно.
While I have to fight this guy.
So in the Super Nintendo version, we actually have dancing daggers on Edward and Rydia for this fight, so they actually do all the damage, and Cecil doesn't do anything. A big difference as well is that in this version, you'll see that Harvey is specifically leveling Cecil up in lieu of the other characters. But in the Super Nintendo version, we go for everyone stays alive in every fight as
Раннер
best as
зачем-то
possible. We try
трейхардит.
and average our levels out.
Что-то пытается сделать сразу же.
Pretty stark difference. And the hovercraft in the Super Nintendo version
Выходит победителем. Прямо тоненького.
Could also talk about so the castle we were in Damsian. The idea there was that Tala, who joined us, wants to go and find his daughter Anna, and we arrive in the Red Wings, who are now controlled by Golbez, another guy. They bombed the place when we arrived, and then they stole the fire crystal.
Yes.
For Baron is the idea. So, see, it seems like the Red Wings are in for this real nefarious acts, and maybe it's a good thing that we got away from them.
Босс, кстати, прошелся довольно легко. Никто даже не умер из тех, кто не должен был умирать.
That's actually also a class strat to actually do 2 attacks during the
Даже целый 41 HP на Сесиле.
Ну, по сравнению с одним хп, это так. Это еще много. Лишних 40 хп у раннера было.
One sec. Emergency exit. It counters spells attacks if you use spells during its red eyes phase. So we want to do as much damage as possible during the red eyes phase, so we can kill Antline within 2 hits in the White Eyes face, because counter does a ton of damage, and we could, like, I've died before because of bad RNG and getting Cecil single targeted by Antline the entire time. Yeah, it can be quite brutal, but we were lucky and got out of it. Now we're coming back to Rosa and giving her the Sand Pearl, because I sorted my menu. I can just press up and instantly
Ну, кстати, принесли лекарство Розе.
the Sand Pearl menu. And just like that, Radia's back to normal. Yeah, a little more story progression going on. She's still feeling a bit sickly, but she's determined to come with us and aid our party. So, if there are any donations right now, feel free to take it away.
Absolutely. We have
Значит,
Jabba
мы
Bobs with
просили
$20 saying,
немного
I've
сюжета.
gotta donate for that clutch survival at
Потому
1
что сейчас
HP. That was
воздушные войска
absolutely glorious.
находятся под командованием некого
We also
Голдбеза,
have $30 from Siri saying, that was the best bard model I'd
который
ever seen.
собирает
I think I
различные
need
кристаллы.
15 of those now. I might even put them in a drawer in my kitchen. Thanks for the awesome Final Fantasy
Сейчас нам
IV
надо
mod.
будет идти в город Фабл, чтобы защищать кристалл ветра.
Yeah, this fight is basically just more story stuff. You have to do 3 hits total to this guy. You can actually die to this guy, contrary to belief, but you can actually die to this guy. I've died here once before, but I think that's a hard mode exclusive, because in hard mode he can deal way too much damage than he should.
Я хочу заметить, что
One time I
сейчас
died in this
Эдвард
fight
дерется
because
один, но
in
он
the
по классу
Spoony
так-то
Bard
бард,
fight with Tala, you just don't attack to finish
так
it,
что особо
and in the
урона он не
Waterhag
наносит
fight,
в
you
этой
do attack
части.
to finish it, and I got them the wrong way around. In the wrong ones, I just wasn't thinking, so I just sat there and watched Waterhag like wail on me, and I absolutely died.
Oh boy.
Do you know how much health the Waterhag has?
You mean Sahagan?
Oh, so yeah.
It's sorry, I don't know the names in the SNES version.
Стреляем мы из арфы.
I think,
Это не лук,
I think
это
it's, like in this fight,
наша
it's
арфа
a
такая.
question mark amount of HP, because it just dies in 3 hits, I think.
Прям как в террарии.
Yeah.
I think I remember someone saying it has like 40,000 health or something in the original, and it's like you can't actually kill it even if you could overflow damage.
Oh boy, I didn't know that. Okay, so we picked something up there just now, something very important for the run. It's called Item Lore. It's the first augment which we are going to pick up in the run, and you will see it used in like 23 to 24ish minutes, where we give it to twins that you will probably know about if you've seen FF4 before. But yeah, currently we are on our way to go to Mount Hobbs, which is on the northern part of the world map. And did I change the battle speed? My short-term memory is really bad when it comes to stuff like that.
You did.
Okay, thank you very much. When it comes to my short-term memory, especially when it comes to like battle speed, I always forget stuff like that. It's really bad. Okay. Yeah, and here's a little story plot development thingy, because Rydia was scarred, mentally scarred, because her entire village
Мы сейчас фастфорвардим диалоги,
and her mom was
они
killed
пролетают
by
быстро, но, к
bunch of
сожалению, мы не
bombs,
можем
and
пропустить
those
эту
bombs
цельную
use a lot of
катсцену.
fire. And even though she's
Прохождение бы
a
ускорилось
black
в разы.
magician, she refused to learn the spell fire, and then the entire party like helped her and convinced her to use the spell fire, so we can actually continue through the game. Small little story snippet right here.
It's been a very trying 30 minutes for her, I'm sure.
It's actually less, because it took us like what 7 minutes to get there. So yeah, it's been like 25 minutes. It's crazy. They always talk like, oh, this was such a long time ago. Yeah, 25 minutes is a really long time ago. Yeah, we have a couple of encounters here, and this one is a bit annoying to get away from. Okay. Sometimes it takes longer, sometimes it takes less long
Как
to
ISA
get away from
проходит,
them.
что
And then,
имеется
or
в
the
виду?
staircase won't
Сейчас
change the battle
это
speed
в
because
оффлайне
you're
все
about to
происходит.
enter
Стример
a
сидит у
fight
себя
with
дома
Young.
и идет все на
If you
основную
can see my
трансляцию. А
cursor,
вот
I'm sorry
до
to
ковида
destroy the illusion,
это было такое
but
же
I have to use the
оффлайн
cursor for
мероприятие,
fast
как и
cutscene
ГДК.
skips. If I could do it successfully. Also, in the 3D version, the augment or the ability kick is busted.
Новый
You deal
персонаж
way
Янг.
too much damage with this augment. Way too much. I heard that in the SNES version, kick is
Мастер
actually
боевых
really
искусств.
useless. It deals next to no damage, but in this version, it deals way too much damage.
Самое интересное, это, кстати, один из самых таких вот
Yeah, you don't get that in the
средних
Super Nintendo
персонажей
version.
части,
Yang's
потому что
not known
сюжет у
for his
него
DPS.
не очень сильно развивается по сравнению с
Contrary
остальными.
to
Он
belief.
типа предводитель
So yeah,
монахов,
this is the mother bomb fight. How this works? We attack once.
и на них
I
напала
actually
стая
messed up,
монстров. Он
but
вот
we
к нам
can
пришел
salvage
сейчас.
this. I actually was supposed to attack once with Young here, but I didn't. This would actually make the fight faster if I attack first with Young and then do focus. But I forgot for some reason and just started focusing from the get-go. So what you want to do, you want to focus 3 times with Young. So at the end of the Mother Bomb fight, you can just kick all 6 bombs which are going to appear in one shot. Do we get the transformation? Yes, we do. Okay. It would actually be faster if we would attack first and then do the focus, but minor detail, forgot about that. But yeah, it saves like 10 seconds or something. Okay, now we just have to defend and hope that our main DPS guy Young survives this. He should be.
Сейчас, кстати, ждем выживания Янга. Ну или ресета.
She's about to explode. And
И
then like very special effects happens and then
мама бомба взрывается.
be gone.
Ну я говорю, да.
And they're gone.
Ну и один кик сделал, убив 6 сразу.
And that's about the bomb fight. Okay, we have quite the walking section until
О,
we
наш
are at the
Грандмастер
castle,
настоящий.
so if
Челленджера,
there's
видимо,
any
не
inputs
достиг,
from
но
Atako,
грандмастером
Bandesh,
стал.
or if there are any donations to be read, then feel free.
All right. We have $60 from Sir Nottingham saying, "Thank you all for putting in so much work for a great cause." And then we have Pro Z donating $50 saying, "Hey Harvey, from
Hey.
this day, you should be called 1 HP Harvey."
One
Начинаются шутки про то, что его должны звать
Oh, man.
One HP
Thanks,
Харри
Rosie.
за то, что он выжил на первом боссе. Ну, точнее, на осьминожке.
So
Это
at this
все-таки второй
point,
босс.
on the end of the events that have happened in Damcene Castle and getting Rosa back, we've decided that we're going to head to
Ну это
Fabul,
был действительно замечательный
and
батл.
we're going to protect the wind crystal
Прям
from...
восхитительно. Мне больше всегда
Red
интересно
Wing,
было,
another
почему вот
newly
когда мы
revolved
попадаем в
So
рандом
now we've
энкаунтер и
got,
убегаем, все наши
Master
павшие
Yang,
сопартийцы
the warrior
валяются
monk.
рядом. Мы что, их тащим
We
как
know that he's in
балласт?
service to the Kingdom of Fabul,
Да,
and
что
he's in
мы
charge
должны
of
их
protecting
бросить?
the crystal, so we're
Они
gonna
потом
head over there now and
телепортируются.
see what we can do about
А
that.
почему мы их тащим ровно до битвы, в которой мы их разбрасываем
Thank you
по
for actually
карте
explaining the
и
story,
убегаем?
because even though I did a cut
А они
10%
продолжают
like a
валяться,
month
типа
ago,
это отвлекающий
I
маневр.
forgot most of the story. I've just speedrun this game way too much recently, so I forgot,
Как со всеми дикими животными,
like, the intricacies of the
притвориться
story,
мертвым.
of how, like, the stuff
Возможно,
works. I know, like,
поймут.
the grand scheme of the story, I
Ну,
still
почему на
remember.
финальном боссе
Like,
такая
the very
стратка не
intricate
работает?
stuff,
Вся пати притворяется
I
мертвой,
sadly
босс
don't,
уходит, хоп,
so
и
don't
пепи
be
хайп,
angry at me,
мы
please.
заспидранили игру.
Yeah, I've been slammed for not knowing the story for many's a game, many's a time.
Нам же надо
So it's like
победить
Fabul
босса.
Castle for me in the Super
Ну, блин,
Nintendo
он
run is one of
развернется,
the
а мы
worst
такие, ха,
segments by
заточка
far.
в
You
печень,
basically
никто
do
не
the
вечен
boss
со спины.
gauntlet. Again, so it's around 6 different enemy packs.
По классике.
And at this point,
У нас Барт в
we're
пати
really
есть, монах.
banking on Edward for doing all the damage with his dancing daggers. And he
Что
is
там этот...
really fragile.
Сисил даже по канону сейчас все еще Dark Knight.
This is the funniest thing ever, because Edward is useless.
Так что
It
такого?
is great because like
It's the
we
exact
got so-
opposite.
the first half of the game is like Edward %. He is so good with dancing daggers. Like he and really carry a lot of the stuff that we do. But yeah, it's one of those ones where it's like he's doing like 150 plus damage with the dancing dagger, and like Cecil's sitting there doing 50 with his sword, and Yang sitting doing 34 with his foot.
It's actually the exact opposite here. Edward is useless, and Young and Cecil are the damage dealers. As you can see, kick and whoosh, they're gone. It's insane. Like the contrast between the SNES run and the 3D remake run. How the strats are completely different, because the stats are also completely different.
Янг очень
It's
силен.
mind-boggling
Один
to
пинок,
me. Like hearing that Edward is strong or
и абсолютно все
useful
противники
at all.
погибают.
Ну, в общем-то, здесь отмечается разница в SNES-версии, потому что в SNES мы используем Эдварда и его клинки. Потому что там слишком много урона у него. А тут другие статы, другой персонаж керит.
We actually want the enemies to attack Cecil as much as possible, because Cecil has to die at the end of the gauntlet. Or no, he doesn't have to die at the end of the gauntlet. But when Kane encounters him, Kane uses jump on Cecil, and if that jump doesn't initially kill Cecil, then we waste like 40 seconds just going through like battle text. So we want Cecil to be below 200 HP to be absolutely sure that he will die. From the first jump that Kane does. Otherwise, we will lose a bunch of time. So every time we have to fight these guys right here, we hope that Cecil gets attacked, but we outspeed them every time. So we just have to pray at this point. So yeah, this will move on for like 3 more fights. So we're getting back attacked here. But like a guy that can cast Tornado. This is very scary. If this guy casts Tornado on Young, we're in big trouble.
Так, у нас осталось еще 3 битвы здесь.
Okay, didn't happen. Very good, very good. Just do a single attack with
Основная
Young.
проблема в том, что Янг должен жить.
Because otherwise we will probably not do enough damage, or we will probably not be low enough health on Cecil to get what we want. Dude, how many fights have we done now? Like 4 or 5? And they haven't attacked Cecil once.
Да, прогноз закончился со счетом 33 тысячи на то, что уложится, против 27 тысяч на то, что не сможет.
They can't even attack me once. Ooh, a tent. I actually had recently a thought where we could use tent for like a strat, but I cannot recall for the life of me where that would be. Oh yeah, right, that was before Demon Wall. Okay, let me check how much damage if they actually attack Cecil.
Добили Эдварда.
Because why would they? So we have to do it ourselves. And we get the double charge, which loses us time.
Как ни странно, все идет по плану.
Whatever.
Потому что если бы они атаковали Янга раньше, чем остальных, он бы не смог сделать этот кик.
Do a quick kick attack and then we're done with the football fights. So now we're just basically waiting for Kane to follow us into the crystal room and one-shot Cecil into oblivion. Why are you doing this, Kane? I will not answer your questions.
Не, раннеру уже повезло. Ему очень прет, так что все будет хорошо. Возможно, даже будет ВР.
Не, настолько хорошо.
Надо верить в наилучшее.
Хочу заметить, произошел важный момент. Мы пришли на босса с 1 хп и нас ваншотнули. Что позволяет нам сразу же перейти в катсцену, где нас ваншотнули. То есть все идеально, когда Эдвард в предыдущем файте вырубился, его возродили с 1 хп, что идеально для нас.
He is the voice behind the was it the Amazing Spider-Man well, the most recent Spider-Man game which came out, and he's also the voice in Rex, or he also voices Rex in Final Fantasy XII. And speaking of Final Fantasy XII, if you want to watch Final Fantasy XII, this run will be up tomorrow at probably around this time, actually. Like in around 24 hours, I think. You will see Zero Scar, a good friend of mine, speedrunning Final Fantasy XII. So stay tuned for that. It's an amazing run, and Zero is an absolute phenomenal runner. So I can only vouch for him, and I'm really excited to watch the VOD because I sadly have to work when the run is happening. So yeah, we picked up a bunch of items here. One of them being the Hermes sandals in the pot, which we just went, and on the 2 chests on the right, where we went, we picked up once a ether and once a spider silk. That spider silk is very useful for the Kanyatsu fight, so he will do less annoying attacks throughout the fight. Because Kanyatsu can be a very, very annoying fight, especially when he opens with
Кстати,
slow.
судя по чату, всем тоже кажется, что на этом марафоне пока что больше всего руин было. Потому что что-то действительно много оверстимейтов.
So yeah, we have quite a bit of walking now until the next big.
Судя по расписанию, не так уж и много.
Ну, банально Doom переносили из-за того, что не смогли его запустить.
We do have a donation from Bell Wolvie for
такой
$40 saying, thanks to the
ESA Summer в этом году интересно получился.
Love you all. And they put that money towards having
На
the
вчерашнем
file
ране
as taskbot for Wind Waker HD, as well as
как
the
там,
Donut Drake
за
costume for Uncharted
оперативник,
Drake's
но он
Fortune
из
80%.
Live Forever. У раннера крашнулась игра в такой момент, когда ему надо было сохранить этот клип через стену, чтобы закончить уровень, а клип не сохранился, и ему пришлось выйти в меню и запустить следующий уровень, потому что он вроде закончен, но ран такой нелегитимный становится. Шестая была на SNES. 789 на PS1, а шестая была на SNES. Поэтому ее нет в списке на PS1. Типа, это игра 91-го года, мы видим сейчас ремейк на ПК. О, кстати, сейчас, по-моему, выходили.
Четвертая часть, не шестая.
А, да. Прошу прощения, оговорочка. Перевести цифры. Я каждый раз, кстати, попадаюсь вот на этот, на номерные части финалки, когда я вижу какой-нибудь ремейк с ПК, он выглядит как бы так хорошо. Я помню Final Fantasy 7 и переставляю цифру, к сожалению. О, нападение Леви сейчас должно быть. Бывает, бывает.
Забыл, что надо ранить.
That's the gift I give to you.
It just got me off guard. I was like, wait, what? Like coincidences like that just does it for me. Like something like that happens, and I'm just rolling. I'm just rolling. Okay, the most unique theme in the entire game, Mysidia. I don't think there's any game or any theme that's more unique than Mysidia theme. I doubt it, honestly. Shoutouts to Nobuo Uematsu, phenomenal composer. I think we all can vouch for that. He's absolutely amazing. Yeah, we're talking to the Elder and tell him, yeah, we want to become a paladin. I don't like the life as a Dark Knight anymore. And he will
вообще не понимаю, почему финалку стали нумеровать римскими цифрами. Так удобно было без них. Ну, хотя это сделано, наверное, чтобы люди не путались в количестве ненумерных частей.
Мессидия, город магов.
Ладно,
команду дают двух близнецов. Полон.
Вот. Ты правильно сказал, бабушка, не читая переизданий. И не читая спин-оффов, которых там было столько, что... О них можно
Dark
вечно
Shield,
говорить.
Dark Helm, Dark Gloves, Hades Armor,
Белый маг
Dark
Полом.
Armor, not Iron
Черный
Shield.
маг
Iron
Паром.
Shield is very holy to me, and we buy a Lustrous Shield. Lustrous Shield will be used way later in the run, or the main purpose of it will be main later in the run. And then we will go here to the item shop right here and buy a couple of high potions. Oops, not 20, just 15,
Ну, получается,
and 5
сейчас
Phoenix Downs.
должны
Now,
стать
this
паладином.
shop, we in like PB attempts,
Скоро
Как
these
мы,
days,
по-моему,
we'll
должны
probably skip
сразиться
it
с
because you can
демоном
actually buy this
несколько
stuff
раз,
later on.
вроде.
But for safety's sake and for marathon
Потому что сейчас на
purposes,
нас
I'm doing
напал Леви,
this
нас
menu a bit
выкинуло.
earlier.
Полом и Паром к нам присоединились. И мы, по-моему, еще должны встретить... Как ее зовут? Телла? Или Терра? В общем-то, это мудрец.
Да.
Вот присоединится он, потом мы сразимся с архидемоном точно один раз. И после этого как раз-таки Сесил и этот свапнет Джобу с Дарк Найта на Паладина. Это, кстати, довольно редкое явление в сюжетных частях Final Fantasy старых, где был конкретный класс у персонажа, чтобы он его менял по ходу сюжета.
Тем более вот так вот. С Дарк Найта на Паладина.
Ну, кстати, это логично, как ни странно, потому что
Но обычно происходит наоборот.
Ну, он как бы подобрел. Все логично.
Ну да, но чаще в сюжетах Паладин оступился, стал темным рыцарем, все дела. Немного необычно такое видеть.
Мне вот интересно, хотя бы на одном марафоне когда-нибудь появится спидран сюжета Final Fantasy 14 онлайн. Там как раз можно будет поставить Estimate 100 часов, начать как бы и закончить как раз под конец марафона.
На параллельном стриме запустить.
Да, параллельно к основному. А, кстати, мы забыли сказать по сюжету, что нашу подругу детскую похитили. И Роза сейчас в плену, и мы идем так ее спасать в какой-то мере. Совсем забыли про важный сюжетный поворот.
Да.
Ну, эти подруги детства очень важные сюжетные персонажи. Да.
Собственно, поэтому мы сейчас идем становиться паладином, чтобы стать сильнее. Как вы знаете, ретро-паладины, они самые сильные.
Это как бы еще версия до всех патчей, как говорится.
In this mountain right now, so we're here to become a paladin so that we're able to defeat Golbez, but also along our journey with Paladin Porum we happen to meet Tala again, and he's on his own hero's journey to learn the forbidden spell Meteor, and he's going to try and use that to be able to defeat Golbez.
Ну, в общем-то, он пытается вспомнить заклинание Метеора, чтобы победить Голбеса. Хотя вот мне интересно, почему он пытается его вспомнить, если наш самонер, которая Роза, или нет, Ридия. Ридия это заклинание учит при прокачке. Но при этом по сюжету Телла пытается его вспомнить.
They're called Mylon and Mylon Z.
А мог просто спросить.
And the idea is that you can use inventory items in fights. So I could go into the item menu, use a potion, and heal my characters and things like that. But what you can also do is you can convince the game to use items that you typically can't. And in a Chocobo Forest, you can pick up an item called a carrot. And if you half use a usable item, and then leave the cursor on an unusable item and do some shenanigans using Paladin Porum and the twin mechanic, then you're able to automatically queue up an item that you wouldn't normally do. So a carrot is what ends up getting thrown at Mylon, No, I don't remember exactly what happens. Basically, Carrot's got the value of like something like Fire 3 or Fire 20 or something like that. So it does that. And then for Mylon Z, we use a trash can, and the trash can has a value of Cure 8 or something like that. So it does tons of healing damage. So yeah, we throw carrots in trash cans in the Super Nintendo version of these guys.
That's ridiculous.
Это
But in
вот
a funny way.
кратко о баге с морковью. Из-за того, что SNES позволяет использовать предметы в битве, если правильно застапиться, то морковь при использовании в мусор во время файта будет вызывать использование какого-то конкретного айтема. И вот эти вот ребята относятся к нежити, и поэтому при выбрасывании моркови в урну наносится огромное количество холли дэмэджа с помощью отдельного айтема. Хотя мы просто выбрасываем морковь в урну. Это, кстати, одна из причин, почему такое большое время разница. Типа мы абузим дэмэдж.
I guess I can begin with the fight that we're gonna do right now. So very soon in this battle or early on, he will command his zombie legions to attack, which is really, really slow. So we managed to find a way to get around this issue by attacking the boss twice, which makes him counter, and we can charge up our attacks while he is countering. And while he is attacking, the timer of his minions are like stopped. So you can see he's queuing up a twin cast with Palom and Porum right now as we make him counter us twice. And if we are lucky and do it correctly... Okay, we did get it. It's a bit RNG-wise.
Зельем.
It depends on Cecil's
Так.
HP.
Ну, сейчас ему не повезло.
Да.
Кратко о том, что должно было произойти в правильных обстоятельствах. Для адов, которых призывают босс, в случае, если он атакует, и мы атакуем его в правильное время, останавливается время хода, то есть они не сходили бы. Ладно. Понимаю. Все, добро пожаловать в руину. В общем, кратко, что произошло. Ему сначала не повезло с тем, что враги сходили, потом ему повезло, что наши два близнеца ваншотнули врагов, и ему не повезло, что он атаковал именно нашего главного ДД.
Ну что угодно, но только не тело.
Revive Cecil or just gonna go into the next one right away?
В общем-то, минус одна пирофеникс.
I mean, of course, the chance of Telok getting killed again is 1 in 3 by now, but let's hope it doesn't happen. Just FYI, I had like several runs lately which got to this fight, and my
Не хочет восстанавливать Сесила. Будем надеяться, что Тело не тронут. Хотя шансы велики.
Но перья Феникс довольно редкий ресурс и дорогой, поэтому их надо экономить. Unlucky. Добро пожаловать в марафон Final Fantasy. Классика, классика.
Oh shit, here we go again.
Okay, Elixir and he's gone. Ah, man, this fight. Ah, I hate this boss so much. I just lost an entire minute on those 2 boss fights. What is going on?
Потеря целой минуты на 2 босс-файтах.
It's not an 8 streak.
Целых 2 пера.
Ну, хочу заметить, именно поэтому надо было ставить на красный.
Oh my god.
Чатик, сожалеем вам.
This boss, it really hates me. It really does. Okay, and now we're on to becoming a paladin, and it's probably one of the hardest fights ever in the entire
Все, добро
game,
пожаловать, мы сменили свою основную джобу с темного рыцаря на паладина.
Okay.
Ура.
You can absolutely see it's the hardest fight ever. I don't even have to touch the controller. That's why it's so hard. If there are any donations,
Самая сложная битва.
Absolutely. We
Столько
have
сложно, что мы
$10
считаем
from
донаты.
Stu T. saying, "Love
Даже
watching
убрали
Final
руки
Fantasy
от
marathon
контроллера.
runs. So cool to see so many at this year's event. Thank you for all that you do." And that went towards the Donut Drake skin choice for Uncharted Drake's Fortune Any %.
Stay hydrated, everyone.
Stay hydrated, boys.
And
Не
to
забываем
touch
пить
on the
воду.
incentives that I mentioned earlier, it is worth noting that the Crash the Coasters incentive for Roller Coaster Tycoon is currently at $475 out of its goal of 1,000. And we promise, if this goal is met, no humans will be harmed in the running of that game.
Okay, we finally became Paladin, and for whatever reason, which I still get why, someone explained it to me a while ago, but suddenly tell us like, oh, I remember all of them now. Oh, is it Meteor? He suddenly knows all the spells, and for the life of me, I do not remember why that happens. Metaku, you probably know, if you can fill me in on it.
No, no. It's just literally right, genuinely.
Дедушка наконец-то вспомнил.
On the Wikipedia article for plot of Final Fantasy IV, it just says Cecil becomes a paladin while Tella learns the secret of Meteor. I'm gonna Google this.
Okay, now we have to pray that we don't get an encounter.
Это было смешно, потому что Раннард спросил у комментаторов, я не следил за сюжетом, я просто ранил эту игру, но ты явно больше времени меня провел. Скажи, пожалуйста, почему дедушка вспомнил заклинание Метеора, когда Сесил стал паладином? И он ответил, что я не в курсе, потому что основной плот в Википедии по этому событию сообщает о том, что Сесил стал паладином, а дедушка вспомнил Метеор.
Don't patch
Сюжет.
Pretty please, don't patch this. It's one of the things that makes this run super fast and somewhat consistent at times. So do me a favor and do not patch this. There are a couple other things that would need that treatment.
Кстати, в этой части будет самый оригинальный Сид из всех частей финал.
So yeah, please do not fix that glitch. Okay, so we will get like this amazing, not Star Wars kind of slide, but this kind of text slide going up where it says, "By the light of darkness, yada yada yada." Completely forgot why this even happens. As I said, I haven't like checked out the story of FF4 like intricately in a long time, so I don't remember why we get this slide at all in the first place. But yeah. Just get this slide and then we move on in the story of the game. We then have the honor to take Palamporn with us because the elder said you should actually stay in Mysidia. However, the twins decided, nah, we want to stay with Cecil. And so they will follow us as we go back to Baron via the Devil's Road. So the Devil's Road takes us back to Baron, not the castle, but the small
Так, мы сейчас возвращаемся обратно в
Baron
столицу.
Castle. And in the Baron village, we will find one of our missing teammates, or should I say, one of those teammates which has gone missing when Leviathan attacked. And that teammate which has gone missing was, or is, none other than Young. And so you might be able to take a quick look at your party members, or at the party members right now when we fight the guards. Just take a look at whoever gets attacked. So we do Faraga to one-shot them. Wait, I get healed by an attack? What? How? So, as a Twitch user told me once during L1, like 2 years ago,
мы получили не урон, а хил.
Phlowsion.
Даже Джайнер немного удивился.
Sorry, don't know the pronouns, so they came to my chat one day and said, "Do you know the mini reverse glitch?" I'm like, "Wait, what?" They said, "Yeah. If you cast mini on your party, they get reversal." I was like, "Wait, there's no way. You gotta be baffling me, right? You gotta be joking." But he wasn't joking. It's the truth. Mini on your party causes reversal. Oh, that's... yeah, I didn't want to do that. Oh, actually I did. Okay. Another fun fact about this Yang fight here. You only have to attack twice, every time he has like a battle text coming up. And as you saw, the first attack missed, but it still continued with another battle text. It's actually funny because I had 2 runs this far, which had the fight going on with both attacks actually missing. But the game doesn't care if the attack connects or even if you do damage. The game just actually only checks if you actually do an attack input every time Yang has one of those text boxes. Even if you miss twice, the game just lets you continue. I think that's very funny. Like, he just goes, "Ah, you missed twice. I'm gonna die anyway." It's kind of weird. Okay, so coming up, we have to buy 2 blue fangs in this shop right here. In a previous route iteration, we only bought 1 blue fang and got a red fang for completing maps. Yeah, you can actually complete the maps, the mini-maps in this game. And if you complete them, you actually get bonuses for doing that. And you will see that actually, right as we go through the sewers here, how this looks like. So yeah, we're gonna take the Baron Key,
мы купили 2 синих клыка,
and do some menuing.
Blue Fang, который наносит урон молнии по врагам. Если, кстати, в ремейке не изменили принцип его работы, то он наносит половину хп, ну это половина максимального хп владельца, который использует непосредственно эту подку.
So yeah, that was our small preparation for the upcoming fights with Bygone and Kanyatso. A small little thing I wanted to mention for the reversal glitch. That reversal glitch only works for 1 fight and only for 1 fight. Meaning, once you have had it on a fight, like we had it on the fight with the guards, the fight after that with Yang, the reversal glitch was not persistent anymore. I.e., once you have 1 fight occur, the next fight, it will not, reversal will not be on there anymore unless you reapply mini. That's why I said when I left amount of ordeals, even if I said it, I don't remember if I said it, but I hope that we don't get an encounter after teleporting out of Mount of Ordeals. And that was the reason why, because if we would have gotten an encounter when teleporting out of Mount of Ordeals between the Chocobo Forest, we would have had to reapply mini, and that just loses time and MP, and this just overall it's annoying. So yeah, we can be really happy that that didn't happen. Okay, so now going through the sewers, there is a chest down there in the middle, which has a Hermes Sentinels in it. We used to get that for hard mode. Don't think we still get it. I actually had to go for that chest yesterday because I accidentally sold the Hermes Sentinels in one of my menus. So it's a good backup chest just in case you mess up one of the menus. And yeah, we're almost at the end of the sewers. Now in this screen, you will see how it looks like when we complete one of the maps. Just go up here to staircase, and when we are past this encounter, there is a little sneaky path on the left side where we can get a chest with a ether inside. MP in this game is very crucial. And as you can see, we complete the map and we get a bonus with 3 remedies. Those 3 remedies are actually very useful in case the game likes to throw us very bad RNG between the legs. So we will gladly take those. And as I said, yeah, ethers, elixirs, and all that stuff, like MP in general in this run is a big theme, which we need a lot. So there are some fights, should I say, a lot of
Замечательно, я
fights
сейчас
where we don't use,
проявил профессионализм комментатора и комментировал довольно продолжительное время, и только сейчас понял, что у меня был отключен микрофон. Опыт.
Может, комментирую снова.
Можно запускать второй круг, да. Идеально.
Отрепетировал?
Да. Речь готова, речь готова. Как я понимаю, ровно с того момента, как я объяснил, почему мы купили как раз-таки фанги, меня было не слышно. Ну ничего. Зато мы дошли до лорда. Ну как, сейчас обнаружится интересный момент, maybe это файт. Скоро будет хоть какое-то действие.
This specific battle, I think it's gonna have the Prince cry and bluff to lower his defense and up your own damage output, and then do the twin cast attack. And that coupled with Tella using Blizzaga on him and maybe having Yang as backup.
Почему Кастер поставил на красное? Потому что он знает, что это ран финалки. Раны финалки всегда проходят одинаково.
Because he has one attack, Constrict, which he will use at some point. And if that hits like the twins and paralyzes one of them.
Это главный герой, который был Dark Knight'ом, стал паладином. Все паладины сразу получают белые волосы, длинную шевелюру и прекрасный
щит. He just get healed from all of his attacks. Like this glitch just trivializes a lot of the game. You don't have to worry about defense at all. And routing some of these bosses was so much fun because you just only concentrated about how fast can I like beat this guy.
Please.
You can just throw everything you have at them.
Yes. Okay. Perfect.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, that's
very
good.
nice.
Okay, that's actually very good because Cecil is really useless at this point.
Но сейчас Рану повезло, потому что спел применили на Сесила. Наш главный герой абсолютно бесполезен с этой точки игры практически.
Easy game every time.
Yeah, also since Cecil died during the two Scarmiglone fights, everyone else has more experience and levels, I think. So that's gonna help you.
Not really, because you're starting at level 1 anyway, when you're Paladin.
Well, I mean like Palum, Porum, and Tella.
Oh yeah. But then comes Konyatsu, which is the more intricate fight of the two. Ether... she's good. Him. Remedy actually. Right, I should have done... Wait, yeah. Never mind, I would have needed to do that anyway. Settings, yeah.
Раннер, кстати, дважды восстановил ману нашему мудрецу из-за того, что в первый раз он его восстановил, во второй раз он снял, не использовал его диспел на всех, и ему пришлось еще раз восстанавливать ему ману за это.
Мы дошли уже до короля,
да.
Который немного не король.
Ну как не король, его выбрали, а как выглядит уже не важно. Кто ж знал.
Intricate ones, and he starts with slow right away. Oh boy.
Yeah, that's really bad luck. This guy can use like slow and sleep. Those two things are like terrible if he puts people to sleep, or well, just this slow is it makes you so slow. It's really bad. But we know how to somewhat recover from it, so should be fine. Should just be taking maybe like 30 seconds more.
Ну как, вступление мы, кстати, уже прошли. Наконец-то начинается основной сюжет игры.
He starts with this.
Alright, if you don't mind, I'm just gonna go ahead and fit in a dono real quick.
Yes, you can, definitely.
We have $99 from Psychonauter saying, "May the power of the crystals be with you." and the Spoony Bard.
Наш янг усиливается.
Hey Psy, thank you very much.
So the premise of the fight now is basically we just want to buff Yang, try and get as much DPS in with Talon and just do some massive hits with Yang, and we want Palom and Porum dead before the end of the fight.
Please, no water, no water, no water. Okay, okay, withdrawing into his shell is actually good.
Босс ушел в защиту.
Okay,
Правда,
so
это
just
ему не
to
поможет.
reiterate the reverse glitch, the reason why we get healed by all of his attacks is because of a weird glitch where if you cast mini on your party, it also activates reversal, which reverse all damage. All damage will heal you, and all healing items will damage you. So it seems like it's like a debug feature that the developers forgot to remove. It's really strange, it's really easy to set up and really practical. So every time you cast mini on your party, we essentially become like invincible.
We kill Palom and Porum because they eat our EXP since they will leave us after Kanyatsu anyway. We kill them, so Hyung, Tella, and Sasu
Может
will
сказать
get
про
EXP instead.
один глич?
Ну, это не совсем глич, как я понял по рассказу, это скорее дебаг фича, которую разработчики забыли убрать из игры. Каждый раз, когда мы кастуем мини на свою пати, получается, мы реверсаем весь дэмэдж в хил и весь хил в дэмэдж. Вроде бы ничего не перепутал.
Да. Один каст, и мы уже просто неуязвимы. А если были ранены, то еще и вылечимся.
So I could have forgotten easily. So in case you see my cursor, for those people who just joined, sorry about that, but that's actually the fastest way we can skip the cutscenes, because I know approximately where the skip cutscene button is popping up, and with mouse it's actually the fastest way to skip the cutscenes.
Okay, I can confirm you did use the second Blizzaga.
Okay, good. Okay, good. I was about to say, like, wait, we can skip the second Blizzaga? Okay, okay. Okay, now we're back into some story stuff, where we get the airship for the first time, and now we can travel around the map 1 hour and 15 minutes into the run, or into the game, which is kind of crazy. In a lot of games, it takes like way longer until you get access to the entire world map, but in this game, it takes less than 1.5 hours, which is crazy. Okay. And now we will get to see our good friend Kane again, who will say, yeah, you have to give us the Earth Crystal from the Troya region. Yeah. And before we go to Troya, though, we want to go to Mysidia, because as I mentioned a bit ago, despite the twins not only being good for damage dealing, they're also really good for giving us augments. And when we speak to the Elder, we actually get a bunch of these augments. And because we gave a total of 3 augments to both of the
Кстати,
twins,
Кайн, у нас про Кайн добрый. Сказал, чтобы мы принесли ему кристалл земли, если он хочет розу назад. Так что делать нам особо нечего. Вариантов других нету.
It's extremely powerful when we do it on Tella. And yeah, now we're on our way to Troya, where we find another one of our allies, which has been missing ever since Leviathan has attacked our boat around 20 to 30 minutes ago. So it's a bunch of walking again, so the only kit, if you have any more donations, then take it away.
I'll just remind everyone real quick that Save the Children focuses on the most vulnerable children, including girls who are forced into early marriage, young boys and girls who are forced into dangerous working conditions, or children at risk of recruitment into armed groups. When children experience trauma, Save the Children works to ensure they receive the care, rehabilitation, and psychosocial support they need to be children again.
Как работает Save Children и от чего спасают? Конечно, даже перечислять не хочется. Довольно грустная ситуация, но вы можете с ней помочь, просто задонатив. ESA. Все деньги за ваши донаты пойдут в Save the Children.
Okay. So we finally meet Edward, and as we can see, he's not in a good shape. Not at all. He's in a hospital bed. Really in a not good case. Oops, we didn't want to talk to him again. And yeah, after we talk to Edward, he will give us Whisper Grass. I think it's called. I have looked at the name of the item in a long time, but I think it's called Whisper Grass. And with that, he can communicate with us over far distance, just kind of like cell phones, but back in the medieval times. And now we go to the Chocobo Forest to move on in the game, and we take this Chocobo to fly over to the Lodenstone Cave, where our next crystal will await us at the end of the...
У нас, кстати, новый Chocobo.
At the end of the dungeon.
Да, который умеет летать.
Okay, so you might have seen we equipped the Iron Shield on Sid, but that has a very specific reason. This is the Lodenstone Cave, or as I like to call it, the Game Over Cave, where actually taking a game over is faster than fleeing from random encounters.
Вот сейчас, кстати, вы
So,
видели
yeah, welcome to the Game Over
Save
Cave,
Click
everyone.
World. Он
We actually
зашел в
take the
данж,
game
сохранился, ему
overs
выполнил
much
каунтер, он сразу
rather
загрузился.
than fleeing from the battle. It's much faster, and we don't have to do anything with like healing or anything. So yeah, that's a weird thing that Quas figured out, the current world record holder. He figured out that yeah, actually getting a game over here is faster overall than like fleeing from the enemies. And I'm getting a lot of
Здесь,
encounters
кстати, Patika с Фэллом. Получение гейм-овера и абуз continue.
Going through this place, let me talk about the upcoming fight Dark Elf.
Но он не совсем избегает битвы Quicksave Cold'ом, это именно возможность сократить время анимации побега из энкаунтера, потому что загрузиться быстрее. Но сейчас мы вообще абузим то, что у нас мало хп, мы умираем, и сразу же нажимаем Continue.
Like heavy, and it causes to my entire party to be paralyzed. Do I have to go through here? No, I don't. It causes the entire party to be paralyzed, and due to that, if the entire party is paralyzed, we kind of trigger a game over since we can't get out of that situation. And we actually use that at the very start of fighting Dark Elf, because Dark Elf, the very first time you actually fight or try to fight Dark Elf, it actually kills you. Because you cannot win against Dark Elf as much as you try.
Первый файт с темным эльфом мы должны прийти с минимальным хп, потому что мы в любом случае должны ему проиграть.
Paralyzed thingy that the game has, and basically skip the entire first phase of Dark Elf. Then the second time we attack or try to attack Dark Elf, we will see a little cutscene of Edward going to his harp and starting to play this small little melody that you probably have heard before, especially when he was like talking to Enna, to the ghost of Enna, during that night when he was playing his harp.
Не, ну сейчас мы на самом деле пролечем, все скипаем, нет?
Obstruct. I forgot the English word for it. But it makes a Dark Elf to not keep up his spell.
Здесь статус паралича для нас равносилен Continue, потому что пати ничего не может делать, а из-за этого файт считается проигранным. И это именно то, что мы и абузим. То есть это все равно как бы нас выкидывает в главное меню после этого, и мы нажимаем Continue. Ну вот сейчас вот мы все еще парализованы. Файт считается проигранным, но поскольку это сюжетный проигрыш, мы продолжаем сюжетное прохождение.
Yeah, I can do that. So, in the original, it's called Magnet Cave. It's effectively the same idea. Where if you wear anything that's metal, you get restricted by it. In the Super Nintendo version, if you get into a fight with it and die, you just die. There's no quick save and loading in the middle of the dungeon. So we don't equip anything metal until the Dark Elf fight itself, and we put Iron Gauntlets on Sid for that. You can have, as far as, if I'm not mistaken, you can have like metal equipment on in normal fights, and you can escape from them without dying, but you can't take actions. It's something like that. So I have accidentally put on the menu before Dark Elf too early, and then I was like, well, this is interesting, and I've died to it before, and it's been fine. And at other times, but yeah, you typically just want to go through Magnet Cave normally until you get the Dark Elf, and it's such a cool thing that like it's got like the two fights back to back, and you go to the first one and you automatically die, and then it's like this fake out game over thing when Edward does his harp music to them bringing in Dispel, the Dark Elf power. For the Dark Elf fight itself, I don't know how much like speed manipulation happens in the PC version, but the Dark Elf does have two phases, and one of the things that's really important, at least in the Super Nintendo version, is to get enough damage in time to trigger the second phase before the fight starts to go south. So,
okay, gotta close the game. That's painful. Oh my god, no. Okay, so what just happened there is at the start of the Dark Elf fight, you want to double silence Dark Elf. So,
Раннер промахивался скиллами, поэтому сейчас рестартим.
With Fire Off, Fondara, etc., etc. And it deals a ton of damage, and to do that, we do double silence. However, it has a very, very high chance to miss. But since it's a strat that we need in a run, we really do want to do one hit to hit at the very start of the fight. And yeah, let's hope this works. Yeah, change the equipment. Yeah, should be good to go. Let's do this again and
Классика.
hope that
Хорошо, хоть это не
double
ресет.
silence hits this time. Okay, double silence. Please make me proud. Make me proud, Tella. Make me proud.
Ресетать уже что-то поздно.
Yes! Got him! Finally. Okay, we got silence. So we should be good. Sid, by the way, is useless. Whenever I can, I use Cecil to get rid of him. He just basically is like a sponge when it comes to EXP. He's not really useful at all.
Сейчас стоит серия эльфа.
There we go.
Больше нам ничего не угрожает. Может теперь спокойно драться.
Okay, Cecil kills Sid. Okay, he's gone. Oh, I should actually cast something. Single Faraga, and then one more attack. Oh yeah. Uh-oh. Yes, okay, that's good. That's very good.
Ну, сейчас у него файт довольно хорошо идет, так что он его точно не проиграет.
Dark Elf uses Hex at least once before we transition into the Dark Dragon fight. Faraga and then Osmos. And in the meantime, since it hexes once, it can hex any of the three party members, Tella, Young, or Cecil. Cecil can be hit with Hex, and then he would turn into a pig. However, you can just use the remedy to help with this. Let's not miss Young, please. Okay, there we go. Young could miss this attack, and then the entire fight would be screwed up.
Странно, все-таки скилл.
Okay,
Этот плач.
really good, and we should be good to go. Double Faraga, which then should kill the Dark Dragon.
Плачем мы понижаем защиту противника.
And there we go.
Мы заставляем его раскаяться.
Dark Elf for you.
Но атаковать он не перестает.
Но ему стыдно за это, он как бы грустно, но все равно надо.
It is very important that Cecil stays alive in this fight, because if he doesn't get the level up, then strats later in the run will not work. And I experienced that recently, and I figured that, or should I say, I figured that out recently, because I didn't know if actually Cecil needs to stay alive or not, and the answer is yes, he does. He does need to stay alive, because if he doesn't,
Ну, в
then stuff will
общем-то,
happen that should not happen.
край. Наш
Okay.
плач
We changed the battle speed,
заставляет броню магическую и физическую врагов располовиниться. Ей становится грустно, и половинка этой брони откалывается, так что резисты падают вдвое.
Одна половинка осуждает другую.
Да. Начинается сам self-harassment, что не одобряется.
Мы что, плохиши?
Нет. Ну как? Главный герой как раз таки был плохим, вот видите, он стал паладином и перестал заставлять других плакать.
Теперь сам плачет.
Yeah, I guess it's worth mentioning that there has been developed a new Dark Elf strat by myself.
В общем-то,
and it is slightly faster,
он забрал ваши слезы, чтобы
we
поплакать за вас.
haven't like worked out all of the kinks to it yet, so we decided not to go for it in this run. Yeah. Instead of using silence twice and hope that at least one of them hit, you just start like attacking him instantly, and you push him to the second phase of the battle before he has time to cast more than 2 spells on your party. And if you pull it off correctly, then you just beat him really fast without losing anyone. But there is a high chance that one of your characters will die. And if that happens, either
Кстати, здесь произошло классическое японское событие для JRPG. Босс в один момент превратился в дракона, показав, что это не моя истинная форма.
Okay,
Все по классике.
After story advancing in Troya Castle, we go to this little side place right here. We take a couple staircases down, go through a couple doors, and talk to this woman right here, who will lead us to a secret passage, where we will have a couple of chests with a ton of good stuff in it. And as you can see right here, full with chests. However, we're not taking every single chest. There are a lot of good stuff in it, where there are some chests which we don't pick up because they're useless to us. I didn't need that silver apple, I accidentally picked that up, but here's a 50k gil chest and a 5k gil chest. This amount of gil should be more than enough for the rest of the run. But for safety's sake, I will, later in the run, pick up another 5k gil that we can get. So, with our
В общем-то, мы не открыли все сундуки, потому что нам нужна только часть, а часть вещей в сундуках нам бесполезна, типа серебряного яблока, которое мы случайно подобрали.
Ну да, только будет забивать инвентарь.
Чем больше слотов в инвентаре, тем дольше нам его листать, что нежелательно.
Ну еще обычно привыкаешь, что открыл инвентарь, нажал вниз, использовал. Или 3 раза вниз использовал. И это можно сбить.
Ну, в общем-то, мелкая моторика работает у раннера. Привычка. Так бывает, что в ранах, где взял лишний предмет, ты такой, хоп, нажал по привычке 2 раза вниз, и примените там другой, там и все. Добро пожаловать в ресет.
Yeah, we do some really cool stuff. So in the Super Nintendo version, you can do an MP underflow glitch with Tala. So the idea is that you run his MP dry until he can no longer use the spell Cure 4, and then you can also rearrange your spells in a different order. So you select Cure 4, and then you press down and confirm on the same frame, and that then allows you to glitch your, or like underflow the MP, and then you just use Meteor. So even the premise is that even though that Tala,
кстати, мы здесь уже слышим антагониста Голдоза. Но пока что еще не видим его.
And that's how we take down the Mega Sisters.
Very interesting indeed. We don't have like an underflow glitch for the Mega Sisters. Mega Sisters is actually one of those fights where we can't use the mini glitch just like we did on the Dark Elf, because as I mentioned earlier, when we do Osmos, which heals our MP when we absorb MP from the enemy, whenever we heal ourselves, even if it's like MP, the game actually thinks that because we have reversal on, we actually damage ourselves in MP. So when we do Osmos and we get MP back, or we absorb the MP from our enemy, it's not that the enemy loses MP and that we gain MP when we're reversed, but both of us actually lose MP. But funnily enough, if it's the other way around, if the enemy uses Osmos on your party and you're reversed, meaning they will quote-unquote take away MP from you, you will actually gain MP. Which is something that Zeromus can do. I don't know if it will happen this run, hopefully it will. Because that means the strat will probably work. Because Zeromus can use Osmos on your party, and it's just so funny to see when you're like, your entire MP pool is just regenerated, even though your enemy just used Osmos on your entire party. I think it's kind of funny. Okay, so we're going through the rest of Tower of Zod before we get to Maga Sisters. So Maga Sisters themselves
Говорит про особенности заклинания Осмос.
as mentioned earlier.
Если мы его используем, когда реверснутый, то и у противника у нас отбирается мана. Но если противник использует Осмос, то наоборот. Мы просто берем и получаем ману.
Ну, смысл заклятия в том, что вы просто вампирите ману противника. Но поскольку у нас все статус-эффекты реверснуты, когда мы вампирим ману противника, мы восполняем себе ману, тем самым себе убавляем ману. А с противником так не работает, потому что он пытается украсть ману у нас должно понизиться значение, но из-за того, что у нас реверс, оно повышается.
Not the middle sister, because the middle sister is getting reflected. So we defense down our enemy, then double silence on Sandy, if I'm not mistaken.
Снова застыдили противников,
That's Sandy, right?
чтобы было грустно.
Come on, don't give me deja vu. Don't give me deja vu.
О,
Oh my
мисс.
god.
Добро пожаловать, еще один ресет файта.
Pain.
Кто там ставил на то, что у раннера все получится?
Я.
Добро пожаловать в раны Final Fantasy, знакомьтесь. Ран Final Fantasy на марафоне никогда не проходит без оверстимейта практически.
Знаю, но хочется верить.
Я бы ставил ставку оверстимейт или нет, и там можно было бы сомневаться. Но в такую перспективу не.
If you don't mind, I'm just going to take a moment to thank everyone who's been donating. We've raised over $400 in the last 2 hours alone, but this is going to be the end of my shift. I'm going to be passing it off to Arg here in a bit, so thanks for having me. I've been the Only Kid. Y'all have a wonderful night.
Thank you, the Only Kid, for being here.
У Ридера закончилась смена, так что Only Kid нас покидает и приходит Арг Вик.
There we go, first try.
Отлично.
First try.
С первой попытки смог наложить.
Okay, no effect. So, how Maga Sisters work, they cast, or Sandy casts Reflect on Cindy, and Mindy casts Fyra on her. Okay, casts, there we go. Mindy casts Fyra
9 хп у Янга.
Are you kidding me? Oh my god, this game.
Ну, хорошее начало.
So yeah, they
минус Стелла.
Fyra, Thundara, Blizzara on Cindy.
Сожалеем, раннеру.
That will be reflected onto my party. However, you can't like guess which one it hits because it's random. It's really annoying, and Cindy can regularly just do normal attacks on you, which is super annoying and can deal and just mess up the entire fight and lose you a ton of time. This is another one of those very RNG heavy fights that can go south really quick if it wants to. Oh, I haven't cried yet. It would be pretty good if it would do that. Wait, what? Okay, no effects. But it didn't show me that I had... I don't have Cryon, why? I'm confused. I am very confused.
Если
Well, you probably
Янга
have it
убьют
applied,
еще раз,
but I don't know why it's not
или
showing.
Тейл,
Okay,
то
I've
можно
never
как
seen
бы
that
смело
before.
прожимать F
Typical
тем, кто
marathon
поставил
run.
на
Always something that
синее.
you never see before happens in a marathon run. There we go. Like when you attack them, it shows the status that they have Cryon, but if you do something else, it doesn't.
Да, типичный
Maybe
марафонский
it's a
ран.
multi-target.
То, чего ты никогда не видел,
Maybe.
произойдет на марафоне.
All I can say is that's whack. Okay, so we did the attack on Cindy in the middle there, and then dual cast again for Raga to deal a lot more damage yet again. The good thing is about Young and Tella both being in crit now is that whenever either of them get physically attacked, Cecil's, I don't know, special ability, I think you could call it that, comes into place, where whenever one of your characters in your team is in critical HP, which you can see if their HP is in yellow, if that's the case, then Cecil will automatically protect them if they get attacked physically. So if Cindy, yeah, as you can see, Cindy attacks, and Cecil will be there defending the attack from
Сейчас увидели навык Сесила, который позволяет защитить тиммейта от физического урона. Так что причина, почему мы накладываем Сайлос, молчание, просто молчание, в том, что если они не могут кастовать заклятие, то они не могут добить некоторых наших тиммейтов благодаря Сесилу.
Because with the strat that we have in mind, we would kill all three of them at the same time. But because Mindy thought, hey, let's do another one of those casts, they killed Cindy. Sorry, they killed Cindy a bit early, which cost us a bunch of time watching this animation twice. And that's Maggot Sisters for you.
О, все получилось.
And yeah, as you can see, Sid is enjoying.
Пока что уж пара ресетов. Подумаешь.
Not doing anything.
Ничего страшного.
If that's where we want him, he's honestly useless. Okay, now we get Ether on Cecil and Ether him once. We potion Cecil twice. No, wait. High potion actually. There we go. High potion Cecil so he has full HP. Go to Tella and use Mini and Toad. There we go. And then we will... Wait, actually... Oh, wait. Never mind. Then we will start this cutscene right here. And this is around 1.5 minutes of just doing nothing. So I will take this time to go to the bathroom for just teeny tiny moment. So if you excuse me.
Так.
I guess I can comment on
Голубus
the fact
забрал
that
несколько.
maybe you noticed that he also used Toad on his party
Где наша
after he
Роза?
used Mini. So as you know, Mini causes reversal, which makes the bosses heal you.
А, нет, сначала...
But Toad
сначала
has a
Toad
similar
будет
effect where it casts Faith on your party, which boosts magic attacks.
Тут Телла должен
It
кастануть
doesn't
метеор,
boost it by a lot. It's like 10%.
тем самым прогнав нашего
It's
главного
not
злодея,
fixed.
но
It's
при этом
like,
он,
it's weird.
к сожалению,
It's a
уйдет
lot
из нашей
worse than
бати
it
после
should be,
этого.
in theory. But it boosts our magic attacks, so we deal more damage and more chance to kill the enemies faster later on. So for some fights, we will also cast Toad, as well as Mini.
Ничего не работает.
And also, about augments, we also touched
on
this earlier.
Никак не хотел кастовать метеор, но, видимо, никак
3D,
иначе.
Remake. When people from your party leaves and you... Yeah, shortly after that usually, and you meet them again or something like that, you will get their augments. So, like Palom and Porum, the more augments you give them, the more you get back. So since we gave them 3 augments in total, we got 5 augments back from them. And Edward, we didn't have anything to give him, so we only got 1 augment back from him. So now Tella is gonna leave our party, and we're gonna get 2 augments from him. Although we're not gonna use them, we're just gonna give them to someone else to gain their augments back later on.
Oh no, oh no, 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 no. How much did I lose?
И все.
Only about like 1 or 2 seconds.
Yeah, you were fine.
Oops, losing time. Whatever. Oh, there we go.
Профессиональный раннер Final Fantasy возвращается к концу
Okay, so
заставки.
Tella left us,
Угу.
but he also left us a couple
Идеально.
of arguments that we will pick up.
Все просчитано.
Sorry about that.
Не первый раз это исполняет.
10-second time
Я,
loss
кстати,
there,
не
but
помню.
absolutely
В МГСе, в
It was like
МГСе.
2 seconds.
В раннем Metal Gear Solid
Yeah, it was
Twin
practically
Snakes
okay.
раннер
So-
на моменте, где ему надо было бежать,
Yeah.
просто оставил
There is
геймпад и
another,
ушел по своим делам.
BRB
И вернулся
coming up,
после того, как раз
in
закончилась
around an
катсцена.
hour-ish, I would say,
Это
that
вот
we
настоящий
effectively
опыт,
can't. Spoiler alert.
профессионализм, тактика.
But yeah, we retrieve Rosa. We get her back right before bad stuff happens.
Ну, в общем-то,
And not
сюжетно
only
мы
Rosa will
спасли
join our party,
Розу
but Kane will
в
too.
башне, в которой мы столкнулись с
And there is actually
Гоблинсом.
a boss fight
Мы
coming up,
потеряли
but
нашего
before we
Теллу
do that boss fight,
бедненького,
we actually
который кастанул метеор.
are
Ну и теперь, в
going
общем-то,
to
мы узнаем о
do
том,
a couple
что
of things.
был контроль над
In
разумом,
that menu really quick.
океаны потерян.
Okay.
Что там дальше происходит? Мы узнаем, что собраны только части кристаллов, которые мы собирали. Узнаем, что есть еще 4 кристалла, которые, по-моему, называются Dark кристаллами. Темные или... Ну да,
Ну
темные.
да, те же самые кристаллы, только их в темной версии.
Они в подземном мире находятся у дворфов или гномов. Я не помню, кстати, как они называются в этой части. Гоблис уже украл там, по-моему, 1 или 3, от 1 до 3 кристаллов, точно не скажу. Это я давно проходил. И, в общем-то, мы сейчас пойдем на поиски темных кристаллов, потому что нельзя их отдавать злодею. Так что форсируем сюжет дальше.
Yeah, fast, everything, and we should be good to go. Okay, Barbarizia. Another annoying fight, or what could be an annoying fight if RNG doesn't want to work in our favor. So, how Barbarizia works is Barbarizia likes to turn into a tornado, and in her tornado form, she can use stuff like lightning and maelstrom, and they can be very bad for what we are about to do. We are about to do twin cast, and twin cast needs both characters to be in the same HP and MP percent. The same MP and HP percent to work 100%. I didn't want to defend, actually. I wanted to kill Sid. It's whatever. Okay. So the fence is down.
Удивительно, кстати, но уже час 40 прошел, половина рана практически.
Kane to jump. We do this. Twin cast 100. I really hope I don't get attacked in the meantime. That'd be pretty bad if it would happen. If it would happen,
Ну что, чатик, кто стоял на 3.50, все еще верите в успех?
Да.
Надежда умирает последней.
Please, for the love of God. There we go. Okay. Ultima, which deals
О,
way too much
отличный
damage.
ультима.
Way more damage than it actually should. Okay, 8k damage. That's pretty good. Then she does Maelstrom. Then we attack once with Young, and fight should be over. Easy.
That is so different from the Nintendo fight. That is awesome.
This is an awesome strat, but yeah,
И, да.
Ну, у Янга, кстати, 1 хп по классике. У раннера. Если бы Янг умер после вот предыдущей атаки, у него было бы не 1 хп, то до связи. Ему пришлось бы его воскрешать. И следующий каст тоже мог бы быть его ешным, и все бы умерли.
Ну да.
А Янг, кстати, чарджит свой удар несколько ходов.
And what has happened also before is that Yang can miss, and that loses a bunch of time. So yeah, you teased something about it's completely different than the SNES version, so I'm kind of interested to know what the SNES version does.
So the mechanic around it's called Valvalis in the original, but the mechanic behind it is basically she turns into a tornado, and the only way to stop her from being a tornado is to jump with Kane, which is exactly what Harvey did at the start of the fight. And then once the lance lands, then she stops the tornado, and then after a certain amount of turns, she will tornado again. So Harvey's able basically just a one-rounder, but in the Super Nintendo version, you're relying on turn order and speed of your characters and knowing exactly who's going to go when, so that you're constantly getting your rounds of attacks off when she's not in a tornado, because when you attack her when she's a tornado, she'll counter attack and your attacks will do a lot less damage. So in the Super Nintendo version, it's a considerably longer fight. In my opinion, it's one of the hardest in the run, and then also depending on when you get Kane back, if he's level 18 or 19, that will affect what you do. So there's a huge amount of...
Если так прикинуть, то ран идет довольно хорошо. У него всего лишь пару смертей было. И учитывая его ПБ, он, может быть, все еще уложится в 45 или 50 минут.
It's based on the levels that you've had from your team earlier in the run. So the idea would be like, so for example, in the Mom Bomb fight, if Edward and Rydia die, that will affect the team's like cumulative experience, and that will affect what level Kane comes back in at this point when he rejoins the party. So there's quite a lot of specific, like who's alive and who's not alive at the end of fights. So like we kill off Sid quite a lot as well on the Super Nintendo one.
Yeah, he's kind of useless.
Yeah, and there's like one where like we've the option to take out Yang, and like depending on how things have gone. So yeah, you track experience quite a lot. But this strat's way better. I like that. Like dual cast Ultima is phenomenal.
Shoutouts to Quaz for another one of those strats. In the hard mode strat on a DS, since Ultima is pretty weak on hard mode actually, sadly. But Quaz came up with the idea to dual cast. To twin cast, sorry. To twin cast Ultima. And I was like, yeah, you only have to attack once. In hard mode, what we actually do, we get the extra Hermes sandals from the sewers that I talked about earlier. And we give that to Yang and just focus as fast as possible. And just try to deal as much damage as possible with just triple focus and attack. And just hope attacks don't miss. It's kind of crazy how the route has changed since Quaz and Dej entered the community with their strats and stuff. Like, as I'm always saying,
Вон, сейчас как раз таки идет эта борьба за третий кристалл.
Or no more than 2. Okay. We now just entered the underworld.
Между алыми крыльями и гномами.
So the premise here is that we were supposed to trade the crystal for Rose's life when we went to the Tower of Zot. We got up to the top there, and then whenever Talus sacrifices himself using Meteor, he weakens Golbez, and then we find out that Kane was actually mind controlled by Golbez. So we get Kane back because the mind control gets dismissed.
Кстати, в этой части, если я правильно помню сюжет, вообще кроме нашего доброго мага, который кастанул метеор, больше никто из сюжета не вылетит.
So the reason why we're going into the underworld is to try and stop Golbez from getting to the moon. And we're going to try and head him off and get the
Дальше
dark
по
crystals
сюжету у
before
нас
Golbez does.
Янг с Сидом, по идее, должны будут собой пожертвовать, как будут думать главные герои, но их там спасут. Так что никто больше не пострадает.
The dwarves are fighting the Red Wings, so we're gonna team up with them slightly.
Okay, so and because we talked to the dwarves about their crystal being at stake, we went to their crystal chamber and see that there are a couple of puppets? I don't know why, but puppets? Anyone? Like, can someone explain to me how, why, and when these puppets come in here? Like, I have no idea. I just know puppets and they're helping Golbez.
Yeah, I think it's a great defense mechanism.
Yeah.
Вот здесь вот Ранга задается вопросом, как сюда попали эти куклы и когда.
Okay, Rosa had fast ATB, which is kind of bad, but that's whatever. So, the strat here is to use
Странный
auto
выбор
cast
в роль на защиту.
because if you do it manually, you're 99% too slow. There are very few exceptions where you can outspeed them, but it happens so rarely that it's way better to just do auto battle. And since we need the auto battle slow on Rosa later on, this is the perfect time to do it. But sadly, if she outspeeds Young or she has better ATB than Young, then she outspeeds Young and we just get a slow that is useless. Oh, here comes the Golbez fight. Also, courtesy to Cloudspalm for changing this strat.
Сейчас будет еще один бой с ним. Мы тут, по идее, проиграем файт за кристалл.
Okay. Twin cast,
Ну как укладывается? Пока что
wait until like half, then
все идет на
jump.
то, что мы стабильно укладываемся в эстимейт, но вставочку, видимо, нет.
An ultimate cast out before he does Binding Cold. I don't know why. I just think that's such a cool thing. Ooh, bad damage roll though. Ooh, that's a bad damage roll. Okay, we dealt 6k total. Math, 6k total, minus, or 9 quad 9 minus 6k is 3.99. So we need...
Сейчас Раннер занят самым важным, он считает урон, который нанес боссу и количество хп босса.
Well, you can use bio, can't you, for more damage?
Can we?
В общем-то, чтобы быть раннером Final Fantasy, вам надо быть немного математиком.
Yeah, but if it kills, it's stronger, I think.
То есть складывать четырехзначные числа.
I don't know, actually.
Вот, это как бы, к сожалению, не так, но раннером финалки мне очевидно не быть.
А если еще и ранить на NES, то надо считать шаги.
Да, причем шаги там посчитать непросто, так что раны финалки это для людей, которые, как говорится, имеют опыт.
Okay, I'll listen to your idea and do bio. I've never done bio before, so new strat during a marathon, I guess. So yeah, let's try bio. I've never done bio before. I usually do Chocobo summon because Chocobo is usually enough to kill Golbez. But since he has like 700 HP more, Chocobo can't kill because Chocobo has like 300. Unless I'm going for the YOLO Ifrit summon, but nah, I'm not doing that. Okay, let's hope that it is doing enough damage. Wow, okay, it actually was. Let's go.
Let's go.
That's good. That's
Лидия
good.
приходит как раз вовремя на помощь.
So, thank you for this quick input. I actually did not know.
No.
This is the kind of cutting-edge speedrun technology.
В общем-то, все рассчитали очень тонко.
Yeah, you figure it out during the marathon. Like, I have 400 hours in this game, and that's something I did not think about if I would under damage. And yeah, we got Rydia back, and she's all grown up now, and you're like, what? She was like the tiny girl when we found her, like an hour and 30 minutes ago, right? Now, the thing is, she was in a place called Feymarch, and in that place, wait, I don't know if I'm saying something wrong here, but I thought it was Feymarch where the time passes faster, or if it was inside Leviathan. I don't remember exactly, but in either of those places, time moves on way faster. It's like the opposite of the time chamber in Dragon Ball Z, where time goes on faster, and she's become an adult in the meantime, and she learned how to summon. Here we're gonna stop up a little bit on high potions, just a teeny tiny bit. Stock up on remedies and Phoenix Dance for the rest of the run. And for extra Gale, we take this 5k in the corner here, which you can't see, but you can get anyway. So, after stocking up our inventory with more items, we will now go to the very right
Да, и
side of the
Лидия,
tower.
мы ее встретили еще
Castle and go to the castle tower. There we go.
довольно небольшой.
And in that tower there are 2 items which are
Но
very
сейчас
good to grab.
довольно-таки быстро постарела.
For the run. That chest which you can see right there was a dwarven axe, but the
Находилась в
dwarven axe
месте,
is
где
not really useful
время
to
идет
us,
быстрее.
that's why we're not grabbing it. The chest that we're gonna need is this one, which is a power armlet, and the one below here, which is a elixir. We'll now go back downstairs and we'll take
Выучилась новым заклинанием, чтобы просто помочь нам. Самоотверженно.
We have to go story-wise. So how do you deal with Golbez in the SNES version? Since that was way different.
So the fight that just goes there, if we are lucky and we've got level 19 Yang, we can get no, not level 19 Yang, you have level 19 Kim. We can get him to jump.
В общем-то, классическая японская РПГ, потому что сейчас мы ищем последний кристалл, который, как обычно, мы проиграем. И дальше мы отправимся на Луну, чтобы его вернуть. Ну, точнее, не вернуть, а узнать, зачем вообще нужны эти кристаллы. И поэтому будем искать корабль для путешествия на Луну.
Because Kane will land before Rydia's like cutscene queues up. If that doesn't happen, then you basically pray that you do enough damage with
Каин, который ходит с нами, он у нас по Джоби Драгун, и над ним был контроль у нашего злого короля. В общем-то, как только сюжетный контроль над ним вернется, мы отправимся за корабликом.
Best case scenario, you have a fast Kane. Worst case scenario, you hit and hope.
So, Mitaku mentioned something earlier about duping. We don't have any of those fancy glitches in this version. So if you're interested in glitch hunting a game which hasn't been really glitch hunted before, then feel free to glitch hunt this game, because we have done almost no research. So if you want to contribute something to the speedrunning, to the speedrun of this version of Ever 4, you can start glitch hunting. We have done next to nothing for glitch hunting in this version. As we mentioned earlier, same with looking into the code, how encounters work. We have no
Сейчас Раннер отмечает то, что если вы хотите принести что-то в раннинг этой игры, можете заниматься гличхантом, потому что гличи в этой игре очень плохо исследованы.
So if you want to contribute something to the speedrun and you want to start learning a run and start glitch hunting, feel free. We would love to have some support. Since this run was severely underplayed, or should I say underrun, because not that many people play it. The only active person running this right now is, well, me and Bendesh at times. But he's mainly routing, because he's currently working on...
Говорит, Раннер сейчас только 2 человека хранят эту игру, он и Бенеш.
Mainly him. So all bosses, something, maybe Dash, you want to get into that, maybe?
Половина рана пройдена.
So,
ну что, чатик, все еще есть надежда на вашу ставочку?
Try it out, like a run where you beat all the bosses in the game. Because in this speedrun, we're gonna skip all of the optional bosses. And there are like some bosses like the puppets that have like a second form that we just skip. So,
час 48.
Cool to have a run where you get through all of them. And to do that, you actually have to beat the game almost twice, because the 2 super bosses can only be fought in New Game Plus. And it was a lot to route. Like, we had to RNG manipulate a 0.4% item drop, and we have to do that like 3 times. And I finally found them, so with that we could actually continue to route the game. And we're actually nearing completion of like, routing. It's just we need to make sure that our XP management, experience management is fine, because if it desyncs, then the manips won't work, and we really need manips for the 0.4% item drops. So we gotta work out some of the last few details there, and then maybe sometime in the hopefully near future we may get the first Final Fantasy IV all bosses run out to the public. That would be really, really sweet to see.
Yeah, Dash has been working literally so many hours on those RNG manips.
Yeah.
What was your longest RNG manip that you were looking for again?
В общем-то, ран ремейка Final Fantasy 4 на ПК в действительности меньше гличей содержит, чем ран SNES-версии, так что он гораздо проще.
И дольше.
Ну, чем меньше гличей, тем дольше прохождения, все логично. Будь в игре ООБ, я уверен, мы бы тут ходили через любую текстуру, проходили бы сразу к боссу.
So I'm kind of burnt out on that right now, but maybe sometime I'll get back to it.
Yeah, understandable. I don't think I would have the patience to do this for 8 hours. Like, a huge shoutouts to Dash for, like, literally doing all that work for a potential route for all bosses. Absolutely amazing on his part. And in the meantime, as we're talking about the all bosses from we're
По-моему, через пару дней еще будет Final Fantasy 12, если я ничего не путаю.
Tower of Babil, where we have to fight our next boss, who's called Lugai.
Даже завтра.
And that guy is... It can be quite a nuisance.
О,
уже завтра.
Yeah, we are
После финалки Alien Isolation. Причем без гличей.
Почти на 3,5 часа.
Ну, без гличей, он долгий. Ну, рано интересно, кстати, будет без гличей. А что за X-Mutants, я впервые слышу.
Lugai talks to Rubicon, one of the 4 Archfiends. And, yeah, he's now aiding Golbez, and
это игра с Sega.
We found him that he is doing very bad stuff, and we wanna halt him from doing the bad stuff. And he's fighting us, not alone, but he has a very good friend called Barnabas.
Not bad.
Also one
Ну,
of
расписание на
those
сегодня крайне интересно.
bosses that can have an optional boss at the end of it.
Metal Gear Solid 3 надо еще посмотреть.
I can't twincast.
Так. Кстати, в Runner сейчас начинаются проблемы, потому что так-то была рано.
Да, что-то слишком рано атакует.
In worst case scenario, this strat will not work. Oh god. Yeah. Oh my god, not again. Okay, this hasn't happened to me in like at least 300 hours of playing this game. And I hoped I got all the bad RNG.
Им этого не случалось за все 300 часов игры в эту игру.
Of course.
Добро пожаловать, еще один reset-point.
Уложимся в 3.50.
Знаешь, 3.50 может быть, кстати, не на том таймере, там будет 4, 3 и 50. Все логично. 4 часа, 3 минуты, 50 секунд. Уложились.
So it's basically just Ultima to at least get rid of the dog.
Жаль, у нас, оказывается, все-таки 3 часа 50 минут.
Okay, let's see here. Twincast, there we go. So how does this work in its NES version, Metago?
So the fight's pretty straightforward. So it's kind of the same idea. Instead of the twin cast, we just attack with our party members, and we use the Titan summon with Riddy instead. But yeah, so because we've got some of the better equipment and stuff like that, we've got a fire sword on Cecil and Kane. We just basically wheel on Dr. Lugai and Barnab. It's Balnab and the in the original one. But yeah, it's not too bad a fight. And then for phase 2, exact same kind of idea. We just wallop him.
So I saw someone mention in chat, why don't you just use mini? We would, but we don't have mini. We literally don't have mini. Because the only reason we were able to cast mini earlier was because we had Tella in our party who can cast mini. However, right now we don't have a single person in the party who can cast mini. So if we want to cast mini, we would, but we can't. Okay, now comes the everyone's most hated phase of Lugai. So there's a 50-50 chance that after Lugai casts his opening reversal gas, that he will cast reversal gas again. It's either reversal gas again or restore, and we hope for restore. Yes, perfect. Okay, at least that.
Рандом энкаунтер убрать, кстати, можно, но NAS-версия требует манипуляции и не работает на весь ран. А в этой версии вы можете квиксейвиться, квиклоудиться, но главное предвидеть, когда на вас нападут, чтобы заранее квиксейвнуться.
Lugai would then automatically start targeting Cecil with his sleeping gas and putting him to sleep. If I would not have equipped Lustrous Shield, but luckily I did, meaning sleep has no effect. And that's Lugai.
Oh.
This has been quite the recent heavy point for a lot of runners, because they've had the very bad RNG that he would just use.
Ну, мы, кстати, подошли уже к финальной развязке сюжета. Как только мы попадем на Луну, там останется всего лишь минут 40.
Okay, so we're now going back from where we came from the start. We sadly cannot teleport out. Well, we actually could, but we have to like stop halfway through to actually defeat a bunch of dwarves. Not friendly dwarves, but actually enemy dwarves who are... I think they're controlling
Вот мне интересно, как рандом энкаунтером может быть яйцо, которое тратит, по-моему, один ход на то, чтобы вылупиться в опасного противника. Наши герои такие бегут, и на них из спины нападает яйцо.
Катится под ноги.
А, ну, кстати, да.
Не дает пройти.
Подкатывает, как говорится.
But before Young will sacrifice himself, we actually have to fight those dwarves ourselves. So we go to battle speed fast. Let's see about HP. He should be good. Whatever. Go into. Wow! Wow!
Поздравляю, раннер. Он буквально сделал полхода к двери, и на него напали.
Like yesterday, when I did my yesterday's run, seems like I was wrong.
Это меньше одного шага. Он просто копался в меню.
Very easy fight actually here. We just summon dragon and we're good. And boom, there we go. That's the dwarven fight.
Если что, черный экран, это была анимация саммона дракона. Но анимация это не то, что любят раннеры.
Also, I forgot to say hello, Argic. I think you have joined us in the meantime.
Hello, yes, I've been sitting here for a while enjoying your run, mate.
Yeah, I completely forgot. Like, yeah, you actually Oh man, I can't speak at many at the same time. I'm very bad when it comes to that. But yeah, you changed seats. So yeah, welcome, Argic. You can take it away if you want to, because
yes, thank you. We have a few donations for you. We have a $5 donation from Lambda217 with a smiley face, and we also have $5 from our previous host, the only kid, who says every little bit helps. We can all play a part to help save the children. Also, let's crash some coasters. And that means that that donation is, of course, going towards the roller coaster tycoon all base scenarios. Crash those roller coasters. We need $1,000 in total to get that, and it is currently sitting at $475 out of 1,000. So if you want to see some fun with some roller coasters, please do keep your donations coming in. And we've got one other one here as well. We have a $10 donation from our very own Edeno, who says, "Yo, Blue Harvey,
Yo,
1 HP is always enough. But
thank you, yeah.
Did you know Chuck Norris doesn't read books? He stares them down until he gets the information he wants. Donating towards the Wind Waker incentive to name Link Chuck." So do we want Chuck Norris to be going through Wind Waker here? That is currently sitting there as a new name, as we do have Taskbot sitting at $96.78 and Sheikah at 35. But Chuck Norris is coming in at 10. Remember, folks, all your donations are going to save the children. Do please keep them coming in throughout this wonderful Final Fantasy run.
Thank you very much, Marky. And thank you very much, Idolo, for the donation.
Блухары говорят. Знаешь, одного ХП всегда достаточно.
For having me part of the marathon, it means a lot to me, and means a lot to be able to be in the marathon as well. Absolutely amazing people here.
Я бы сказал, уже больше, чем достаточно.
From me to the ESA crew. Absolutely amazing people. Lovely, lovely people. Absolutely amazing. Yeah, we just went out the Tower of Babil, and what just happened, we skipped a cutscene where Sid threw himself over the airship, and then with a grenade in his hand, jumped over to the Red Wings, to the enemy's airship, and he exploded, or should I say, the grenade exploded in his hand, in midair, several hundred meters above ground, next to an enemy air fleet. Let that sink in, like, just for later. Just for later. Let that sink in. Just for later. He was several hundred meters above ground. He had a grenade, like, right here in his hand, and exploded in his hand. Like, remember that. Remember that for later.
So that now means that two characters have sacrificed their lives to save the world. So we've lost Tella and we've lost Sid.
You forgot the twins.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The twins don't exist.
There's a song for that as well.
Что, осталось 1,5 часа рано?
Yeah. Oh gosh, yeah, we've lost 4 party members.
Oh boy.
And Young, let's not forget him.
Yeah, he was one of the 2. Okay. So we improved our airship and got like crane minigame claw attached to our airship.
Хочу заметить, кстати, в мире Final Fantasy 4 Земля круглая, потому что мы можем пролететь с одной части земного шара на другой.
Прямо как в жизни.
Я, кстати, не знаю, почему Раннер так много говорит относительно Рана, потому что он вначале сказал: у меня 2 комментатора, потому что мне сложно сосредоточиться и комментировать Ранну. При этом он всегда комментирует, а 2 комментатора сидят и молчат. Он причем...
Они на подхвате, если что поправить.
Но он призывает постоянно Раннера с NES-версии, чтобы он рассказал, чем они отличаются.
We have another shop here where we have to buy ice armor. We did buy one, okay. We have to buy power staff and 51 shurikens. Why 51 exactly? Because you just have to press 5 times to the right to get those 51, and getting 50 means you have to do 1 extra input. So let's just buy 51. So we got the move on through the first passage.
Почему мы покупаем 51 сюрикен? Потому что, чтобы купить 51 сюрикен, нам надо нажать кнопку ровно 5 раз, а если вы хотите купить 50, то надо нажать 6 раз. Поэтому придется ходить с одним лишним.
But we're also now going into a different screen where
Чья
if you
пещера?
want to
Общественная?
advance the game,
Ты видишь, кто в
usually
пещере
we do not
живет?
have to go here, but we
Торговцы,
do go here for 2
монстры,
items
абсолютно все.
in this little corner right here. If we would not
В
get
пещере все
encounters in
равны.
5 seconds. And
Ну да, пещера
those
для всех одна.
chests actually have 2 elixirs, and as we talked about earlier in this run, we do need elixirs and ethers a ton in this run, so those will come in quite handy. And once we have that, we will move on and go through this secret passageway right here, and go through here and get another encounter. And after this encounter, we should be right before the Prince of Eblon Edge, who will try to defend himself, or should I say, he's trying to get revenge on Rubicon, because Rubicon was the one who destroyed not only Eblon, but he also did something very terrible to his parents. So,
Снова меняем
if you
скорость.
want to take it away, we have a little bit of time.
Thank you. We do want to let you all know as well, or rather, shall we do it the other way? Did you know that if you donate for ESA Summer 21 here, you have the chance to win some prizes? Yes, that's right. Every time you put a donation in, you have a chance to win if you meet the minimum threshold. For example, minimum donation of $10 throughout any point in the marathon here, you can win or have a chance to win a Bomberman Perler Bead Sprite. It is a small sprite of Bomberman from the NES that we saw earlier, made from Perler beads, and it's pretty cool. We also, of course, have a ViewSonic Elite XG270 monitor for a minimum donation of $25. We have a special ESA-themed Nintendo Switch Pro controller made by Spicy Frog called This Is The Run. That is a minimum donation of $30. And we have another ViewSonic monitor, this time the ViewSonic Elite Monitor VX2705-2KP. It's a 27-inch QHD monitor that's basically really big, really fun, and really cool. It's really useful, actually. You would want to take a look at that. $35 minimum donation. And of course, the grand prize, a Sony PlayStation 5 with the ever awesome Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. Minimum $50 donation for this one. However, as said, all your donations are cumulative, which means if you do $5 here, $5 there, as long as you reach that minimum total, you will be entered for your chance to win. And as I was saying that, we do have a $5 from Yang who's calling out Matako. Matako, am I a joke to you?
Пока что рано ставится, считаются донаты.
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Yeah, I have to do a couple of things here. Yeah, defend. Wait, he doesn't have to defend anymore? Oh, yeah, he does. Never mind me. I'm just forgetting things, as per usual. Throw over attack. Slow is already in there. Bluff, cry, defend. Oh, yeah, right. It's the most important part. Not white magic. Wait, I quit power staff. Did I? Huh? Oh, yeah, right. Items. Never mind. Yeah. I'm forgetting how this game works. So, yeah, we gotta go to items, power staff. Because, if we have power staff, we can then...
Только что Радио немного запутался в меню. Забыл, что хотел сделать.
If we have power staff, we can then cast power staff. I don't know how that works. We can cast power staff on a party member to berserk them. And in this case, it's going to be Kane. Because Kane is, contrary to belief, he's going to be the main damage dealer once we are past Rubicon. Because we will get quite a bunch of good weapons, 2 ogre killers to be exact, and those will be given to each Cecil and Kane to deal a bunch of damage. And as you saw earlier, I was in the party menu. I was like, wait, don't I have to do something in the party menu? But I already was thinking ahead already, and was thinking about a menu which is after the Rubicon fight, where we actually have to change Kane's and Edge's position, like we have to swap them. So Kane is in the front row and deals the most amount of damage with his ogre killer. Okay, so since there is quite a lot going on with Rubicon when we're during that fight. So since there's going to be a lot of stuff happening during the Rubicon fight, let's hear Matako what he thinks, or what the SNES version of Rubicon fight is, because I don't really know, and I want to see if it's like somewhat similar.
На самом деле надо вводить счетчик рандомных энкаунтеров на ранах Final Fantasy, чтобы каждый раз, когда выпадал рандомный энкаунтер, выполнять счетчик.
And then we get the cutscenes after that. So for this one, I'm pretty sure it's exactly the same party. It's like the fight's like a minute and a half.
В таблице рекордов тоже писать помимо времени.
Да, счетчик рандомных энкаунтеров.
Как обычно пишут, время прохождения и время прохождения с загрузками. Только тут будет с энкаунтерами.
Идеально. Можно сразу как бы считать энкаунтеры, такой перевалил счетчик, который был у VR-холдера, такой все, ресет.
Shiva,
Oh, she uses ice too, because Rubicante's fire elemental. So yeah.
Yeah, probably Shiva.
So it's really just it's just a lot of damage for these ones. So for the 4 fiends, at this point, we really just start playing the game normally again. There isn't any like fancy shenanigans or like double equipping weapons and stuff like that where you shouldn't be. So it's pretty straightforward stuff.
Okay, we're about to get up to Rubicon, as we still have to flee from several encounters. So this is gonna be the second bathroom break there is in the run, and this one is significantly longer than the first one. 1 sec, I actually have to heal Cecil here, and Rosa, just in case, and then battle speed fast, and then we will see Edge's parents once again.
Похилился на всякий случай.
Okay. So Edge will see his parents again, and they say, "Oh, we're not the parents that you know that we are." And now we're gonna defend with our party, if we could defend. 1 sec. ATB, ATB, ATB. We just need the ATB to advance so we can actually defend. Defend, 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 and we should be good to go. BRB.
Бирб.
Абсолютно стандартный файт, вообще тактика никак не меняется. Единственное, как вы видите, мы потеряли всех своих дамагеров, поэтому приходится справляться с теми, что есть.
Раннер отлично справляется, на самом деле, да. Хорошо
Очень
идет.
сложный бой, да. Это видно, как он напряжен. Именно поэтому вебки очень нужны на спидране, чтобы видеть, как сложно вам проходить какие-то файты.
So at this point in the story, we've gone to the top
Даже не моргает.
and collect the crystals that Golbez has hidden away, and that's where we believe them to be. And then we find out that he's actually moved them to a different part of the tower, which is why we end up in the Tower of Eblan, and we get Edge to join us. So now that we've got Edge, we've come back to the Tower of Babel, and we're going to try and collect those original crystals and steal them from Golbez. There's a huge like game of cat and mouse, basically for the rest of the run, where we're trying to either get the crystals or get the dark crystals before Golbez does, and we get this whole back and forth thing. And the reason we had to leave the first tower was because it was trapped. So we had the cannons with the imps, and then turns out Golbez had trapped the.
Сейчас я жалею о том, что не закинул все на красное.
Sid sacrificed himself. That was to reseal it so that they wouldn't be able to follow us.
Чтобы у синих было побольше очков?
Конечно, конечно.
Какой ты добрый.
Okay, so I got back just in time to skip the cutscene in time and fight our lovely Rubicon. So how this fight works is basically Ultima, yet again, and we bluff with Radia and then cast Jiva. So one interesting fact about Rubicon fight is he has like two stances, an opening stance and a closing stance. And we can manipulate that stance with edge if we just steal from him. I think it's a very interesting thing that we can do. We also have to right now see when Rubicon is going to attack Cecil, because he's going to attack Cecil, and we have to. We did equip Ice Armor, did we? Yes, we did. Yes, okay, perfect. We do that, then we can twin cast High Potion, then we get twin cast 100%. When we get that back, then we do summon Shiva, and then we steal again, so we can open up Rubicon. Because Rubicon changes his weakness the way he has his stance on. When he's open, he's weak to ice, but when he's closed, he's not weak to ice. Okay. Oh, it should steal, probably. Okay, so Ultima and Shiva hit.
Осталось еще, получается, 15 тысяч хп.
Close Rubicon once again.
6 тысяч хп.
Open for long enough because if stays open for too long. Rubicon will then cast Inferno.
Ну, в этом файте поиграть практически невозможно. Так что мы просто ждем.
And as you all know, we can't cast Mini, and even if we would cast Mini, it would only survive for one fight anyway. Kane is alive. That's actually not good.
Так, и получается все?
Да. I forgot to kill Kane.
Ну, 1000 хп больше нанесли урона.
This is bad.
Но он тут миснул. На него выжил Кайн.
Back up. How am I doing this?
I think you just kill him in like maybe a random encounter or something.
Yeah, but where? He should have actually died during the Rubicon fight, but I forgot to kill him. Yeah, what are we gonna do? That's bad.
I think you're good on experience.
I think just...
Сейчас будет ресет.
Can we kill Fusoya during the CPU? I don't think we can. The strat I'm doing has him alive like at the until the very end, and he's like the last caster.
Well, if you flip the order, if you start with Meteor from him, you can kill him.
I could kill Cecil, I guess, during Demon Wall. I mean, he doesn't do that much damage anyway.
True.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best idea, despite... Even though, how many levels does he get from Demon Wall? Because Ultima.
Yeah, that's
Ultima
true.
Сейчас он пытается оптимизировать уровни прокачки, потому что мертвый персонаж опыта не получает, в той мере, в какой получают здоровые.
This is off script, off routes. I am a little bit concerned.
Well, you need to get him to critical health.
Да. Каин выжил, Каин получил опыт, который ему не предназначался.
For Rydia right now. Or should she be able to get haste march at the end of CPU?
I'm not sure actually. She did survive against Luge though, so...
That's at least one thing. Okay, can we get haste and berserk or haste and dispel, whatever, after Demon Wall on Rosa now? Because I do need haste for Archfiends.
Yeah.
So that should be okay. Worst case scenario, I might actually have to fight a random encounter on the moon so we can get Rosa to level... Rydia, not Rosa. Rydia to level 40, so she can get haste march.
Ну, сейчас вот Он говорит о том, что, возможно, придется сыграть один рандомный энкаунтер на Луне, чтобы...
Okay, so the reason
Вот я
why
перепутал так
we
же,
want
как
to
рано
kill
Роза
Kane,
или Ридия.
it's two
Кто из них?
reasons. One, because he's gonna get an
Ридия.
ability
Надо,
or an
чтобы Ридия
augment,
взяла 40-й уровень
adrenaline,
для
that
того, чтобы у нее
doubles his
была
strength when he's in critical
высшая
health.
приоритетность в ходе.
So killing him off and reviving him puts him at critical health. And yeah, another reason is to give more experience to the other characters so they learn spells, which we really need.
Okay, this is scoffed. This is scoffed. This should not work like this. Not at all. Okay, but it somehow did. Okay, so you usually would actually revive him a lot later during like a menu. But since I could not, because I forgot to kill him during Rubicon, I had to kill him now, and because I was already in a fight, I was like, okay, why not just revive him at the same time, so I don't have to do it later in a menu. So, yeah, we're back to the Dwarven Castle, and we need someone who can make our ship better, so we can travel over lava. Because the lava's too hot and would burn our ship. And we go through the Dwarven Castle and ask several people, if they can make our ship better. And at the same time,
Да, сейчас мы ищем корабль, который сможет нас перевести по лаве. А то наш корабль много не выдерживает, он немного подгорает.
Plus a several 100-meter fall to the ground. And he acts like nothing happened. And he's repairing our airship. Or improving it, should I say. Also, nice hammering the air. That definitely improves.
Использовал себя как приманку для врагов. Пережил залп из артиллерии. И еще и упал сотни метров.
Опыт.
Его выжил. Он сейчас работает снова.
Thank you very much. I mean, I'm going to just turn around and say there, he's clearly not hammering air. You're hearing noises when he does that.
Ничто не остановит настоящего инженера.
Like he's hitting something. But yeah, just want to let you all know this is ESA Summer 21 and we are raising money for Save the Children. You can see just on the bottom of the screen there, our next milestone to beat is ESA 2014 at 35,349.
Конструкции металлические, но
we are very, very close to
чинит он их,
we are less than
меняет деревянным молотком.
If we can hit that during this run, that would be phenomenal because we've still got a good, like, maybe hour and 40 minutes left on that. But of course, you can put all your donations towards any number of our incentives that we have right now. We have a number of naming incentives, as you heard earlier. We do have
это логика покемонов, где травяной тип сильнее металлического.
File name. And we also have the Crash the Coasters
Логика покемонов уникальна, потому что трава сильнее металла, потому что так-то логично, металл со временем проиграет траве.
Да. И тут он чинит металл деревянным молотком.
We have a skin choice for the upcoming Skylar and Plux run, Adventure on Clover Island. Right now, the Samus Aran model is winning at $10. However, you also have the choice between the default model or our very own Sonic the Hedgehog. Unfortunately, Sonic is currently at 0 right now, but your donations can change that. If you want to see Sonic running around a giant 3D adventure platformer, then you can get your donations in for that.
Man, speaking of Samus Aran, I am so excited for Metroid Dread. I know that's not FF topic related at all, but I just want to get this out there. I am mad excited for Metroid Dread. To give you a timeline, Metroid Dread is a continuation of Metroid Fusion, a game which came out 19 years ago. I'm 21 now. I basically experienced the entirety of growing up, becoming a teenager, and early adulthood between Metroid Fusion releasing and Dread, which just is mind-boggling to me. So please give this game a chance if you can afford it. Okay, so we're giving adrenaline here to Kane, so he will do double damage once he's in crit. Then we go to abilities. Give Kane the adrenaline, which we talked about earlier.
Ну да, зачем делать что-то из железа, если можно сделать что-то из дерева?
Гораздо прочнее и долговечнее, да.
А вообще лучше делать из живого дерева. Представьте, вы построили дом из дерева, оно выросло, и у вас увеличился объем дома. Площадь жилая так. Получается, белки гении, у них всегда увеличивается жилая площадь.
Дом по 20% годовых. С каждого года 20% больше жилплощадь.
Идеально.
Sometimes I'm wondering what I'm doing wrong. I swapped the wrong party members. Okay, yeah, that's my fault. That's
Стример
100%
перепутал
my fault.
членов команды,
Yeah, I should have swapped
поэтому его
Kane
ждет
and, Edge
замечательный
and not
ребут.
the other way around.
Ура! Еще ближе к 350.
Yeah, that's
В общем, поздравляю красных, сожалею синим.
I should have swapped Edge
Наоборот.
and not Edge and Rosa. So yeah, let's do the menu again. Go up this rope right here. Do the menu with...
Все впереди. Все впереди.
Еще пару смертей, и мы в оверстимейт на час уходим. О, классика, классика.
Equipment. Kane, power gloves, black belt, shield, and ogre killer. Ogre killer, mithril gloves. Then abilities. Kane, you give him adrenaline. You already have given her power staff, which is good. Party, now change Edge with Kane. Thank you very much. And then we do battle speed fasts. Yes, we do. And then we're good to go with the fight. There we go. So these doors we have to fight 3 times total before we have to fight the boss himself. So the strat here is to cry on the door so the defense goes down. Kane attacks, power staff on Kane, so we have a berserked Kane, plus adrenaline, and as you can see, Kane does a bunch of damage in crit health with his adrenaline, plus Ogre Axe, Ogre Killer, sorry about that, and Berserk. It deals a bunch of damage, and together with Shurikens, which also deal a lot of damage, we can make quick work out of those monster doors. And that's monster door number 1. We should get mini at this point, right? No, we don't. Okay, so next fight is gonna be mini then.
Поразительная графика.
Okay, so we're moving on.
Ну, хорошо переделали SNES-версию, прям. Видно, что полностью переработали все, что можно было переработать. Оставили только сюжет и основные события не тронуты.
Matako, is there anything special with Demon Wall in SNES version that you might be able to talk about? Like some glitch or anything?
I don't think there's anything really. So it's like, I mean, like, because we've got once you lose the Dark Crystal, it's to
насчет графики и то, насколько интересно смотреть. Вчера вот был на удивление интересный ран игры, в которой вообще нет графики.
So, for us in
NetHack, по-моему, называлась, версия 3.7. Да, NetHack. Прям удивительно интересный ран игры, в которой не то что графики нет, там только буквы двигаются и все.
We will be able to do a bunch of damage with Kane. He does like 5,000 damage per hit, which is really good. And yeah, we'll just DPS race them to the end. And until then, we have a bunch to walk. I would say this is probably the second longest dungeon, next to the moon itself. Giant of Mobile is actually shorter than this. But yeah, here is a lot to walk around. So yeah. Argik, if you want to, you can take it away once more.
Oh, thank you. I'm getting so many spaces here. I love it. I'm struggling for things to say. It's like when we were coming through this, it's what, like 3 and 10 minutes? Like, oof. That's great. Now, I do want to let you all know, folks, that we are, of course, ESA Summer 21 here, raising money for Save the Children. Did you know that Save the Children were the first global organization devoted solely to serving children's needs and securing their rights? They are often the first or only child-focused organization working in the hardest-to-reach places where it's the toughest to be a child. As a result, Save the Children's teams have been proactive in preparedness for pandemic threats. They work with youth, their families, and their communities to ensure that young people's health needs are met. You can help give children a future by donating to this event. Did you know that $2.50 in the world's poorest countries, millions of mothers have no choice but to give birth at home without basic medical supplies or a midwife? Your $2.50 can provide a mother in need with clean delivery kit containing all the essentials such as a bar of soap, a plastic sheet, a sterile razor blade, an umbilical string, and a cotton wrap for the baby. So every little donation helps here. Give as much or as little as you can and know that it's going to a great cause. And Mitako, I did not say sheep, I said sheep.
Замечательно, остался час рано приблизительно. Идем пока что. Без самых страшных ошибок раннера, то есть смертей. Всего-то пару ресетов из-за того, что он перепутал 3 сетапа. Кто-то очень беспокоится за свою ставку, да, считает?
Да.
Сколько залили на синих? Все, что есть, да?
У меня было 1,5 после покемонов.
Покемоны. Сразу видно, кто не знает, на какие игры нельзя ставить, что в Steamate он уложится. Покемоны, Final Fantasy, все игры, которые длятся больше 3 или дефис 4 часов на ране, это JRPG, с рандом энкаунтерами вообще никогда нельзя ни на что рассчитывать.
Я азартный человек. Хочется верить.
Я вот настолько поверил в раннера, что он не уложится, что поставил аж 3000 на то, что он не уложится, потому что это был самый безопасный вариант. Я бы залил все, но тогда процент красных был бы слишком высоким, и отдача была бы меньше.
It's a holiday, but it's not just a holiday. It's meeting up with friends, and it's a fantastic time. At least we're able to do it online this year, you know? But here's hoping, maybe next year, this time next summer, we'll be back in person, back in Malmo, having a great time, and running live, and doing all the silly shenanigans that we normally do.
Also want to give a quick shout outs to ESA. They actually made name tags for Home Edition, and this makes it the Home Edition ESA even more in person, or the most in person as it can get. Like those name tags have been quite essential for the in-person events. So actually having name tags during the at-home edition of ESA is like the closest we can get to in-person while not being in person. Because those badges are absolutely essential, because when you come across someone, you're like, oh, hey, what's your name? And then we look at the name tag.
Harvey? Badge check.
Here. Only ESA attendees will understand that reference. Only ESA attendees will understand that reference.
Well, while we're doing this, hey folks, how about we try and get a $5 donation train, huh? We know how much money can help save the children here. We want to raise as much as we can. Let's get a $5 donation train going during Final Fantasy IV here. Should be a $4 donation train, but let's go with 5, because 5's a lot better, right?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. It's only week 1. So a monster can emerge from the door, and sometimes it's a dragon. And if it's dragon, I'm most likely dead. But if it's an enemy like that, we can quickly deal with it. But if it's a dragon, then I'm most likely dead. Okay, we got Mini, which is really good. One of the most wanted spells, especially towards the end of the run.
Да, из двери может выйти монстр, и может выйти дракон. Это будет немного неприятно, и может окончиться смертью. Но нам пока везет. Слабые энкаунтеры.
running away.
Мы уже дошли до Demon Wall.
Yeah, we're forced into a battle with Demon Wall. 99,999 HP. What we do is we basically just deal as much damage as possible by using Cry to lower the defense, attacking with Kane and Cecil to do another
Ее
damage,
99
swap
тысяч
with Iridian,
хп.
and then do a Dragon Summon to deal as much damage as
Много.
possible onto the Demon Wall. And then we use Power Staff on Rosa to berserk both Cecil and Kane. Or Kane and Cecil, because we do Kane first with the berserk, and then we do Cecil. And then we summon a dragon to deal even more damage, and then we do a Shuriken throw, because Shuriken deals way too much damage.
Пока что
And
12
thus,
тысяч.
if we don't
То есть
miss any
осталось еще
attacks, which
87.
happens just like now, we can defeat Demon Wall before it defeats us. Okay. Whoops. So, as you can see,
84.
this is just a DPS race, and we're trying to deal as much damage as possible, and we're praying every time that
Уже
Cecil and
78,
Kane
73
both
где-то.
hit their attacks, because they love to miss.
О, классический, кстати, босс Final Fantasy — это стена.
So far.
69,
стена.
And used the dragon summon as well to deal a lot more damage.
64, где-то
4006.
62,5,
We're on good pace in dealing damage. Just don't start missing all of a sudden.
58.
Then we're good. Okay, we're on good pace. We're on good pace for damage. As you
4.
can see, like the wall is coming closer.
Не,
And
ну
the
уже
wall
почти,
actually
почти
doesn't
половину
attack
сделали.
us until it's like very
Уже немного
close to
больше
us.
половины
And then it
снесли.
uses a move,
Сколько
I
на
think it's
таймере?
called
Мне кажется,
Crumble.
далеко в будущем.
Or Crush, and that deals quad 9 damage. So I actually never tried using Mini here and see what happens, but there might actually be some funny stuff happening if we would Mini ourselves and then just get past the Crush. I want to see if like Demon Wall just keeps on going further to the right and we just don't die because he uses Crush the entire time. Something I actually have to try out. Curious. Want to see what happens. Maybe credits Warp Kappa. And we got a double miss.
О, миссы пошли.
Yeah.
So in the SNES version of FF4, you can do a glitch, and you can skip the sealed cave altogether by doing some warp stuff with Rydia. So you can actually avoid fighting the demon's walls altogether.
We should be done with this fight very soon. This might be the last hit. Yes, it is. Let's go. Okay. Done with Demon Wall. Now,
Минус одна
I have to
демоническая
leave
стена.
the sealed cave.
Ура.
And there is one problem in this version, which I would love that they would change, but I don't think that's something
99
that we
тысяч
can,
хп было.
get ever. And I
Ну,
saw
мы
that
справились.
other versions of this game, they can just emergency exit to the start of the cave. But that's not a thing here. We actually have to walk throughout the entire cave. We have to walk back. Very sad that we actually have to walk back. Would love to be able to use emergency exit and get back to the start. Would save us several minutes of just pure walking. But yeah. More walking through the sealed cave. And we're getting more encounters. Okay, let's just hope we don't die here. I mean, it wouldn't matter as much because we have autosaves. But still, dying would lose us a bunch of time, and we don't want that. So, on our way out of the sealed cave, you just saw me there unequipping Kane. So what happens story-wise is, for some reason Kane gets mad again at us, for some reason. Probably because he gets taken over by Golbez again.
Yeah, it's mind control.
Yeah, mind control. And he steals the crystal that we just got from the Demon Wall. Or before we fought Demon Wall. He takes the crystal with him and he's going back to Golbez. So, what we then do, we get kind of annoyed that Kane is betraying us yet again, and then we will move on to the Dwarven Castle once again, and for some reason we are asking Sid once again to help us make our ship a little bit better, so we can actually get out of the underworld. Because right now we are actually stuck in the underworld because we cannot drill a hole to get out of the ground from the underworld. So Sid does improve our airship once more by hammering air, and actually he's installing a drill at the head or at the front of the airship, so we can then drill a hole through the ceiling.
Ну да, мы сейчас немного застряли в подземном мире. Потому что прохода нету сейчас обратно на поверхность. И поэтому Сид сейчас сидит на базе. Мы слетит из нашего корабля новый. Делает обновочку. Что, просто взять и пробурить небеса, да?
Argic, you want to take it away once more?
Oh, yes, I do. And the best thing is, we said we were looking for $5 here, so excuse me while I put on my lovely little conductor hat here. Hello, everybody. Welcome to ESA 21 conductor train bound for Save the Children. Please have your tickets at the ready. We're about to have our tickets, please. We have a $5 donation here from MT Null that says, Argic, please say something. Something. We also have a $5 donation here from Poetics119 saying, save the frames, save the children, save the moon. Oops. Spoilers for 90 minutes from now. Sorry. Can't believe we have spoilers on the train here. We also have a $5 donation here from Ronan saying we are jumping on the train. Once again, folks, this is the ESA 21 train bound for Save the Children. Please do get your tickets at the ready for more Conductor Org.
I did not expect that.
Перевести. Если кратко, то Аргик, который читает донаты, сейчас использовал стандартный американский фильтр для объявлений 60-х годов, чтобы прочитать донаты так, как будто бы это все билеты на воздушный корабль, ну, в скобочках у нас это лунный корабль. Плюс читал он это типичным голосом продавца билетов на поезда. И весь юмор строится на том, что лунный кит, которого мы сейчас поднимем из глубин океана, это огромный летающий корабль, на который сейчас наш комментатор, ну, ридер донатов продал билеты. Да, по $5 за билет. Спасите детей, спасите Луну. О, спойлеры. Причем он еще отметил, что спойлеры за 90 минут в будущее. То, что нам еще тут сидеть и сидеть до спасения Луны.
He actually comes back with Gongnir and a couple of other different equipment things. Also, this black screen scares me because every time, because it loads so long, I feel like the game is crashing. I always get scared every time because I feel, oh, is the game crashing? Is the game crashing? Yeah. So when Kane comes back, he usually has like Gongnir equipped, which is a worse weapon than Ogre Axe, Ogre Battle Axe. See, I completely forgot the name already of a very crucial item or weapon that we use in the run. Well, yeah, those weapons and
Как Раннер отмечает, у него большая проблема с тем, чтобы запомнить названия предметов, которые мы используем, да и сюжета, потому что он ранит эту игру, не проходит.
So when he comes back, we can then equip him with the good stuff, so he can deal max amount of damage again. Okay, talking once again with the dwarf, and for some reason, Sid is perfectly fine. Final Fantasy. Okay, so we have a little of a cutscene right here of not only Sid improving the ship, but also the dwarves hammering the air above the steering wheel, because yeah, that definitely needs fixing and improvement. And then Edge flirting with Rydia. And then Edge getting rejected.
Стукаем воздух. Все улучшается.
Talking to Cecil, what needs improvement? Then he goes over there to install.
Все-таки сразу видно инженера с большим стажем.
Edge looks like he's been put in the corner with his head against that metal beam.
Oh boy, oh boy. One-handed movement, horrible. Don't drink and run. It's a bad combination. Okay. There we go. Okay, once we move out the Dwarven Castle, we will then see our upgraded airship. And as you can see, there's like a little nozzle, like the tip of the airship, which you can see clearly looks like it's trying to drill something, right? And as you can see right now, it's about to drill a hole through the ground. All the mountains disappear, and we emerge on top. Now, we're just flying to... Wait. I don't know if this is correct on the camera, but this side...
Какую-то слишком большую дыру мы пробурили нашим корабликом.
And now, we talk again to the Elder, who's then talking about...
Снесли все горы.
Prophecy. This is the prophecy from what I remember. Yeah, this is the prophecy which he talks about. Yeah. I think, if I remember correctly, this summons the lunar whale. I mean, speedrunning wise, it makes sense because we're going into the lunar whale just about now, right after this cutscene. So you will see the mouse cursor again skipping cutscenes. So sorry about that. Game. Yep. As you can hear, probably one of the best themes in the entire game. Man, I love this theme. So good, so good.
О, наконец-то мы летим на Луну.
Ура. Fly me to the moon.
Сейчас вы увидите лунного кита, корабль, на котором мы передвигаемся. Как говорится, дайте Сиду время. Он все починит и запустит.
Красиво.
Just kidding. I've never played FF14 before, so I don't know what Endwalker could be. But just in case... So, yeah,
I mean, we have our own lunar whale mounts now, so, you know, I think that's a big clue.
Maybe. Okay,
Прошлое начало с рандом энкаунтером, сразу минус 2.
And yeah, the random encounters are significantly more buffed on the moon than they are in the underworld or overworld. They're extremely strong, like, absolutely bonkers strong. Like, boy, they're strong. They do way too much damage. So yeah, we're trying to survive the moon, which is, without oxygen masks, surprised that they can actually handle the moon. And actually not freezing to death as well. But yeah, it's medieval times. Whatever. We're going through these
Рандомные энкаунтеры на Луне, кстати, гораздо опаснее, чем на Земле, потому что мобы сильнее.
Slowly but surely get through or get to another.
Что, кстати, странно. На Луне же должно быть меньше гравитации. Значит, мобы должны быть слабее.
A lot of people actually told me to play FF14, and I don't know.
Как они накачаются без гравитации?
Специальные лунные гантели, наверное.
It's hard. It's hard.
По идее, гравитация на Луне слабже, чем на Земле, но это не значит, что вес становится меньше. Это значит, что притяжение слабже, значит, просто берут больше вес. На Луне можно рекорды ставить.
Если мы качаемся какими-то гантелями, то они качаются горами.
It's not that I hate MMOs. It's more the opposite. I'm basically addicted to MMOs, and that's the bad part. Like, if FF14 is that good, then I'm scared that I might actually drop speedrunning altogether, and I don't want to drop speedrunning altogether. That's the main thing that I'm worried about. But if I would start to play FF14, then I would drop speedrunning and all that stuff, and I don't want to drop that. Not at all. I love speedrunning too much, and I love all you people as well. And giving up speedrunning and all of this, like the entire community thing, ESA Marathon and everything, for playing an MMO, I'd much rather take this than the MMO.
Do you know what you don't get in MMOs?
What?
Conductor Argic.
Oh yeah. Let's take it away, Argic.
Somebody calls for Conductor Argic here. We are ready for the train to save the children. We have a $5 donation here once again from MT. No, that says Agric, not Argic. Agric, please say something again. Something again. We also have a $5 donation here from Uncle Worry that says, yes sir, I can boogie. We've also got a $5 donation here from Keishan that says, this is Conductor Argic. Welcome on board the greetings leaving from Germany, bound for saving the children. Please keep all hands and feet within the car during the ride, or else...
Аргик продолжает читать комментарии.
Все посаживаются на трейн, на поезд.
Да, и его в самом донате поддерживают.
With major stations being $33,000, $34,000, and $35,000. Will today serve since quality speedruns, including Final Fantasy IV, Alien Isolation on a steering wheel, and X-Mutants. Please make sure that you have your valid ESA $5 ticket on hand for easy processing. Have a beautiful day. Thank you very much for your tickets, folks. Please do keep your tickets coming in and let us smash those donation targets as we reach Save the Children.
Даже перебивать его не хочется. Оригинальная идея, то, что он читает голосом проводника прямо-таки, продающим билет.
Да, хороший фильтр. Хороший.
For some odd reason, in one of the cutscenes coming up, when like Rydia talks to the party and like the scene transitions from the camera pointed at the party and then goes like to the giant of Bobille, like walking towards us and getting attacked by the dwarves. For some reason, the game just closes itself if I don't like quick save and then close the game. Like right now, it's where the game would just for some reason close itself.
Ну что, осталось 40 минут?
It only happens to me.
Ну он 40 минут только на Луне проведет.
I tried finding new drivers. I basically tried everything at this point.
Вот, кстати, мы видим то, что наш гиперкерри жив.
This game really hates my PC and likes to close itself whenever this cutscene appears. So I can counter that by just quick saving and then closing and reopening the game right before we go down there. I don't know why. It just happens. It's a necessary time loss. It's like 30 seconds, 40 seconds for me. If I wouldn't have that time loss, I would have a nice time save for my run, which I'm just not allowed to get for some reason because my PC is suddenly really bad. I don't know. It's if someone who actually has an idea what this could be and how I could change like my settings and how this could get fixed, if someone actually has an idea of what could be the case, please contact me. I've talked to like several people about this and they all had no idea. So if you might have an idea what it could be that could cause this quote-unquote crash, it's not really a crash, the game just closes itself. If you have any idea about this and you have any knowledge in this, then please contact me because I would love for the game to like not pseudo crash anymore on me. Yeah, that'd be nice. So yeah, now we enter the Chine of Babil. Chine of Babil, the second last dungeon in the game, leading up to the next boss, or should I say bosses, the Archfiends and CPU. So, to actually give a little bit of a background to CPU, CPU has been one of the stupidest fights, let's put it that way. It's one of the stupidest fights ever, especially in the DS run, because in the DS run, you actually have to pray to have the perfect ATB, and if you don't, your run's basically dead. Because you have to kill the left node before it can cast Laser Barrage. And as you know, Laser Barrage deals way too much damage. I don't know if you can vouch for that for the CPU fight on SNES. I don't even know if you kill CPU on SNES. Do you?
You do, yeah. It only does like the laser beams do like 300.
300? It does quad 9 here.
So when we do CPU in the Super Nintendo run, Fusoya, like Fusoya just absolutely wreck shop with Meteor and Nuke. But yeah, so the maze, like, so it's like the mazers do like 200-300.
Laser Barrage is busted in the 3D remake. Like, that stuff deals way too much damage, even on normal mode. Like, on hard mode, it does like quad 9 all the time. And in normal, it does like 8 or 7 or 8k. Like, still way too much damage. So it is one of the stupidest fights in the entire run, if it weren't for Mini. Mini is a literal godsend for that fight, so it was the first fight I used it on, and I was super excited when we actually figured out Mini reversal is actually a thing. Because that fight is a pain to deal with. Especially since you have to rely on RNG to have good ATB and to win the fight. That's like the only way you can win CPU. If you can kill left node first. Yeah, but since we have Mini and Toad actually is also a glitch.
В общем-то, пока он сейчас ходит по комнатам, давайте немного заспойлерим сюжета, что происходит. Мы с вами прибыли на Луну, чтобы выяснить, что вообще происходит, откуда эти кристаллы, для чего они нужны. В общем-то, мы встречаемся с... Как зовут? Да, вот. И он рассказывает нам о том, что принадлежит к расе лунарианцы. По-моему, лунарианцы. И...
Лунарианцы, в общем.
Да, они связаны с тем, что эти обломки появились на Земле. Потому что отец Сисила был хранителем кристаллов Земли как таковых. У них были соответствующие кристаллы, лунные же кристаллы хранились на... Я не знаю, кстати, как назвать это место, где они хранили. Но, в общем-то, все вот эти кристаллы хранили все знания и помыслы лунарийцев. И они же изобрели многие технологии, которые используют наши герои, летающие корабли и все остальное. Однако, один из жителей Луны, Земус как раз-таки, хочет уничтожить все живое на Земле, чтобы переезд, переселение, захват Земли сделать, и чтобы все жили, на Земле. В общем-то, все вот эти кристаллы, которые ему нужны для того, чтобы призвать огромного робота, Гигант Бибель. Я, кстати, все еще помню, это было так смешно, когда я прочитал это впервые. Гигант Бибель. Название огромного механического робота, который должен уничтожить все на Земле. Гигант Бибель. Боба. Да. И очистить с его помощью всю землю они должны. В общем-то, мы сейчас пытаемся предотвратить появление этого огромного робота.
Ну, он так-то уже появился. Мы сейчас пытаемся его всеми силами отрубить. И наземными, и подземными.
Ну, в общем-то, все, что мы сделали. Это все попытки теперь его сломать, бедного Бибеля, который ничего особо не сделал, он просто робот. В общем-то, мы сейчас в сопровождении Фусои, который помогает нам вот это вот силовое поле гиганта вырубить. И, собственно говоря, мы сейчас спасаем всю Землю и всех-всех-всех от этого гигантского робота. Мы должны уничтожить его сердце.
Okay, this looks good. Let's see if he gets it here.
Ну и, кстати, это почти финал, потому что после того, как мы отрубим робота, мы возвращаемся на Луну, чтобы вступить в финальный бой с нашим главным архизлодеем Зиморусом.
Ну там много боев будет на Луне.
Ну, все эти бои сводятся к тому же, что и сейчас это бои в финалке. Ты такой смотришь и думаешь, как бы не уснуть иногда. Конечно, с раннером это так не работает, можете обратить внимание, насколько он сосредоточен. Из-за того, что весь урон просчитан, все ходы записаны.
It's barely not.
Oh, come on!
So yeah, now the attack will miss. That extra damage can make it like... Yeah, it makes it faster, but...
Опять происходит то, чего не происходит никогда. То, что происходит именно на марафонах.
It says like 20 to 30 seconds, so it's not a lot, but it actually is a lot for me.
I think it's just like 15 seconds
О,
max.
Yeah. Легендарный 1 хп.
Да.
1 хп, 2 хп, 6 хп.
Also, fun fact, she's not actually weak to Holy
Лидия
until after she
с
becomes
1
a
хп,
tornado.
Фусои с 2 хп.
Внимание, вопрос, сможет ли он победить и выжить? Будет ли еще раз для него такая удача?
Yeah, I'm not sure how long it takes.
Please don't get petrified. Okay, there we go. I hope Holy is not gonna trigger. I hope that it's not
Но
gonna trigger
он
two
использовал
counts.
мощную
Okay, there we
фоточку,
go.
чтобы
That's
полечиться.
good.
В целом,
We can do slow again.
он поправил ситуацию с лоу хп,
Cry.
и босс вернул его обратно
We
к
can
этому же
actually wait
состоянию,
here,
чтобы
because
неповадно
he's not
было.
gonna attack. He's actually going to open by himself in any second now.
Yeah.
Then video bluff.
Так.
So we're gonna queue up Blizzaga.
Это, по-моему, кстати...
Where is it? Where is it? There we go.
Ну, сейчас, по идее,
Который из элементалев?
Shiva,
еще раз?
ready to steal again.
Который из элементалев уже по счету?
Это кто у нас? По-моему,
Рубикейн?
Гаруда? У него Шива-то уже есть.
Нет, сражаемся мы сейчас.
А вот счет я не то чтобы сбился, я их даже не считал, потому что это такие файты стабильные. Мне, кстати, нравится, как выглядит моделька упавшего Фусои. Он всегда так эпично выглядит.
Возвращается в 2D.
Да. Принимает исходное состояние с нас-версии. Ну, сюрикены это лишнее, но он кинул, видимо, чтобы просто...
Да, что добить, да.
Один лишний сюрикен пригодился, как говорится, 51-й.
Жаль, только Фусои не получает опыта.
Ну, это не так страшно, потому что ему надо, чтобы опыт распределялся в сторону нескольких персонажей.
Да, в основном Лидия, по-моему.
Да. Она тут main carry.
Sorry about that if I'm not gonna commentate anything about that. We want to use High Potion on him and on her. We want to use Ether. Actually, no. We want to use Elixir first on Rosa. And then we want to use a Phoenix Down on him. And then we want to use Driver on him. And on him.
В общем-то, можно понять, кто главный персонаж по количеству маны, которое вливается в персонажа. Потому что мы не хотим, чтобы мана неожиданно кончилась.
Balance be fast. Yeah, we should be good. I think we're good, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I think we're good. Okay, let's go. And CPU, here we go. So how CPU works? Since we have mini, we don't die to anything.
CPU.
Unless we accidentally heal ourselves. So what we do is cry with Cecil at the start. Then immediately, or actually right from the get-go, Shuriken main CPU. We actually have to do this multiple times. Then we bluff with Iridia, and then we do a Ramu summon. And that Ramu summon has to go before we do the Meteor and the Twin Cast Ultima. Because a Ramu is going to heal, it's going to damage two parts, but healing the right knob that you can see. And so we don't have any issues with damage later on. We do Ramu from the get-go, so the red one's gonna heal, get healed right away, and then Twin Cast, and then Black Magic, Meteor. I think I'm fine, or I think I have to shoot one more. I think now I should be fine. If I don't get damage rolled, I should be fine. Let's do Ramu summon once again, just in case.
Так, просто я сейчас должен кастануть Метеор.
But this should be CPU. Because we're now only waiting. Now we're just waiting for everything to go off.
Кстати, сейчас будет символично, если после того, как он уничтожит CPU нашего гигантского бедного робота, у него крашнется игра, что, кстати, вероятно.
Let's go. Ah, my god. Okay. The Ramu summon will kill it then. Oh man, and the Object 99 happens before we can do the Ramu summon, which now will kill CPU. And that CPU. If I wouldn't have gotten damage rolled, a CPU would have been done way quicker.
Кстати,
Yeah, that's FF4 for you. Sometimes RNG just does not.
199. Нанес 9999 урона. Сесил.
Yes, level 40. Hey,
Хорошо, что он не обратный.
We're good.
Да.
We're good. We're safe. We're safe. We're safe.
О, ему, кстати, даже не придется лишний файт проводить, он левел 100. 40-й уровень взял.
The long drought between CPU and Zeromus is upon us. But we are now getting into talks with Golbez, who actually talks a little bit about his past. And he talks about, yeah, he took to the Borderlands. Or,
Golbez
no, he asked himself first,
тоже на самом деле находился под майнд-контролем.
Now, we do see a flashback. Everyone loves flashbacks. We do see a flashback of him as a kid, when his name was Theodore. And one night he wakes up and is like, can't sleep. So we go and like explore the world.
Сейчас мы узнаем один сюжетный поворот.
Looks up into the stars, talks to him about something that I don't remember. Then Theodore goes back into the house, and instead of going to bed, he actually goes to his mother's room and see, oh my god, she actually fell out of bed.
Верим.
And like she is in a very weak state. Like she's very close to death. But yeah, she's also pregnant. But in the medieval times, this has happened that when you've given birth, that you can die in like when you're in a very bad scenario, which is sadly a thing. And yeah, we can be lucky that it doesn't happen, or should I say, as often anymore. There might be still places in the world where it does happen, which is not very good, but yeah, anyway. So she gave birth to a little kid, and that kid is the main protagonist, Cecil. And as she's holding Cecil, she sadly leaves the earth of Final Fantasy IV. And with this, Theodore suddenly gets consumed by an evil force. That evil force talks to him. And that evil force is none other than Seamus himself, or itself. Because what Seamus is, you can't call human. So, being cursed by Seamus, he gets an unknowingly hatred against Cecil. Or against the world, should I say. So what he does, Theodore just sets out Cecil somewhere, and Cecil's about to baby rage.
Голбес, на самом деле это Теодор, да, и он наш брат.
Вот это поворот, как говорится. Неожиданно было.
Okay, now we're done. Okay.
No, I mean, we do find out in this cutscene that so Cecil's dad, Cluya, and Zemus are both Lunarians.
So yeah, bunch of cutscenes coming up, and Kane is suddenly not a betraying guy again. Why is that? Golbez is not mind-controlled anymore, and because he's not mind-controlled anymore, means that Kane isn't mind-controlled anymore. So it's like kind of a chain that broke, because Golbez was broken out of that chain of hatred. And we're having another flashback with Cecil, the blonde-haired guy, talking to the greenish-haired Kane. And this little girl is Rosa when she was like 5 years old. Pretty adorable. I mean, I gotta say, DS graphics did a lot for such a limitation. And now, to the moon for one last time before we're finishing off this run. And when we talk about going somewhere,
Да, возвращаемся на ног последний раз.
And hike
Ура.
and train, I'm gonna ask for my lovely conductor, Argik, to take it away once more.
Thank you very much. I am here. I was too engrossed in your story there to miss you the first time. Hopefully you can hear me. We have a couple of donations for the conductor here. We have a $5 donation from Sinkos saying, crushing this roller coaster with no survivors. Wait, what do you mean this is a train? Yes, this is a train, not a roller coaster. We are perfectly safe on the train bound for Save the Children. We also have a $10 donation here from the one and only Ladder. I believe this one is directed straight to you, Harvey. Worried that you'll drop speedrunning if you start Final Fantasy XIV? Then, as a fellow Final Fantasy XIV player, let me tell you, don't worry. Just like speedruns, Final Fantasy XIV won't go away. When you feel burned out or frustrated, then Final Fantasy XIV is a chill game. And then once calm, and you've got your drive back, you can jump right back into speedruns and come back later. Believe it or not, Final Fantasy XIV does have
Я не знаю, это задонатили разработчики Final Fantasy, но так рекламировать Final Fantasy 14 онлайн, это надо уметь.
My best friend is right now doing a marathon of all Final Fantasy games. Last I heard from him, he is somewhere in 4. I'm worried that he may have lost him. Harvey, you might be right that you cannot escape Final Fantasy 4.
Ooh. Yeah. What did we talk about? A guy who can run all FF games in a row? Wait, does such a man exist? Does such a person exist? Matak, you probably know that guy.
No. I mean, I've played a Final Fantasy or two.
Сейчас обсуждаю, знает ли хоть кто-то из них человек, который может пробежать абсолютно все Final Fantasy за один заход.
The sole and only person responsible for finishing every single FF game, including the MMOs, in one go, in a speedrun. Like, I'm at loss for words for that.
Все игры Final Fantasy за один спидран.
Это сколько считать? 14 тоже считать?
Тогда это сказали, что 14 тоже это. Да даже без 14, если выкинуть все ММО и оставить только номерные, вот только номерные части без двух ММОшек, то это уже как бы на полжизни хватит.
Учитывая, что еще были всякие спин-оффы, типа... Так, Сиди.
Чайпей в чате, может, он точно может подсказать, сколько времени это займет приблизительно. Пойду спрошу у раннера финалок, сколько времени примерно займет ран всех финалок.
Which was one of the important things that we desperately needed for the final boss. And we equip Kane again with all the equipment that we need to make haste towards Zeromus. So, what you just saw is just the final equipment that we have to do for the final boss coming up, Zemus. We are actually going to finish in less than 30 minutes, so we're going to be quite underestimate, just in case staff is watching and hearing. In case we're too far underestimate, you might want to have a backup.
Да, ранее планирую закончить в ближайшие полчаса. Я надеюсь, он уложится минут 20.
Bend over, or to bridge over the time that we just gained. Because I did set my estimate a little bit too high when I submitted the game. I'm honest here.
Очень на это надеюсь.
Not accidentally, but I didn't know I might actually go underestimate this far.
В общем, раннер финалок говорит, что время ран всех финалок займет где-то 2-3 дня.
Have a backup run ready if we are too far behind estimate. It should actually not even be half an hour. It's like more like 20 minutes. No, not even. It's like 15 minutes. How much actually? Let me check. Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's like 20 minutes. 20 minutes from now. So just in case everyone is
Ну все,
alerted,
как бы.
we might gain quite some time.
Вставочки. Он, как говорит, примерно 20 минут осталось.
Oh god, oh god, oh god. Oh god.
Ну, главное, Вова растимет не уйдет.
That's why we have Phoenix on Kane. Because these encounters, man.
Клево.
Okay, so the reason why we have Phoenix on Kane.
Давай. Еще один удар, я верю, вы сможете. Один удар. Ну.
А как насчет того, что похиляться?
Да! Добро пожаловать в Final Fantasy. Ну, как бы он на случай этого перо Феникса как бы использовал, это было специально, но смысл...
Ну да.
Здрасте.
Yeah, that's Phoenix. You don't necessarily need Phoenix anymore. You can skip it if you want to. But I still get Phoenix just for cases like this, in case I'm just getting bodied by the enemies on the moon. Which happens more often than not, actually, because the moon is powerful and the moon is trying to kill you.
Говорит, Феникс уже не обязательно, но...
Pretty brutal.
Он его использует все еще, потому что как бы есть такие моменты, да. Не всегда везет.
Deep of the moon, and before we start fighting Zemus, Matako, for one last time, can you give us a little bit of insight in the fight of Zeromus for the SNES version?
Yeah, I can do that. It's you go with so you start with the Zemus fight, and that's just between Golbez and Fusuya, and then all hell breaks loose. So Rosa, Kane, Cecil, Rydia, and Edge. So it's mostly Kane's just whipping with one of his lances. We use the spell White with Rosa, and that's basic. I presume that's the equivalent of Holy. So that does tons of damage. We use, I mean, a lot of healing with some of the other characters, it gets pretty sketchy. It's a lot of where you get hit by like Big Bang and stuff like that. You're using elixirs and Cure 4 with Rosa. Kane's the big damage dealer. I think it's really basically use what you've got and who's alive and do the best you can. We also have, for a number of the fights, we use Reflect on Rosa. And then so we'll like reflect like Fire 3 or Cure spells at enemies and stuff like that. So we do reflect Virus off Rosa onto Zeromus as well. It's a really powerful thing so that Virus will put like someone into like super low health. I don't actually know what happens when you reflect it on an enemy specifically, but that's the other thing that we do for DPS on it. But yeah, it's a lot of it's another hit and hope one where we can out damage Zeromus.
Kind of interesting that Kane is also a DPS or the main damage dealer in this NES version, because that's the exact same thing for the PC version. He is the main damage dealer here as well. It's kind of interesting how some of the stuff is completely different, but some of the stuff is very much the same in a different manner. I do think Kane does like jumping.
Мне интересно, вы успеют убить еще пару раз, пока он убегает, или не успеют?
So I might be wrong, but I think he does a lot of jumping in this NES version, right?
Yeah, in the first 2 hours we jump a lot, and in the last 2 hours we just attack a lot.
Yeah, so it's the same here. We don't do a lot of jumping in general.
И Каин уже полегли, как бы, да.
Ну, их как бы не жалко, так.
Но у них было больше всех хп.
Or should I say for Zemus himself, Kane's just keep attacking and slashing Zeromus, and it's another one of those boss fights where we just pray to God that Kane is not missing his attacks. Like, good lord, please do not miss your attacks. Like, you've missed enough attacks already. We want your attacks.
Ну что, все, кто поставил на синее, молитесь вместе с раннером на RNG, чтобы Кайн не мазал своими атаками по противнику.
15 минут осталось.
Just hope we don't die. There are actually 2 parts to the moon, the lunar subterranean and the second part, which I call the deep moon. The deep moon is places with the crystal or the glass tiles with the incredibly strong enemies, and the place where you can ask yourself, why do I hear boss music when you get an encounter, that is. And yeah, we're steadily, slowly but surely grinding our way through all these encounters and trying to flee from them without trying to getting a game over. And in the Deep Moon, we actually are going to grab 2 more chests, which are mainly 2 Fuma Shurikens. Those Fuma Shurikens will be used during the Zeromus fight, because we are wanting to damage push him. Because if we are quick enough, we can damage push past Zeromus's black hole with doing enough damage at the start of the fight. And if we use the Fuma Shurikens, the chances are very high we can get that. However, it has happened before when doing that strat that it didn't work, mainly when I missed too many attacks with Kane, which sadly is a thing. So yeah, we just gotta hope that Kane is hitting his attacks, and let's hope I'm not getting a game over again, because everyone's about to die. And you know what? Conductor Argic, please take it away one more time.
Thank you very much. We do have one more donation coming in right now from our friends over at the German restream, I believe.
Зовут
From
кондуктора.
James13594 with a $25 donation. Saying, Germans sind die Besten, believing Germany is the best. And with a lovely little love heart at the end there. This will be the end of Conductor Argic. Let's see if we can get a few more donations coming in before the end of the run that we could read off here.
Донат из Германии.
All the best.
Германия лучше.
Thank you very much.
Хороший донат. Немецкий донатер лучший в мире.
So there's just a ton of walking going on and like trying to not basically trying to not die. It's basically the motto right now, like try not to die. that's basically the motto right now, which is actually really hard. And yeah, also shoutouts to German Restream, amazing people. They asked me to do some commentary, but I sadly had to tell them, sorry, gotta work tomorrow. But yeah, shoutouts to them.
Интересно, он вообще не хочет хиляться? Совсем?
Why
У него остался один персонаж?
Also, a big shout out
Да
to the
тут
Japanese
волноваться не о
restream,
чем, от слова совсем.
to Sol Ashelia, Soru Ashelia-san.
Да.
Sol-san actually has learned the entire run.
Все в порядке, все идет по плану.
Within a week, just so he can do the Japanese restream and like commentate on the run. Absolutely legendary speedrunner. Give Sol
Просто
Ashelia
теряем время
definitely a
на
follow.
энкаунтерах.
He's an absolute
Всего-то.
incredibly
Там
talented
не так
speedrunner.
и страшно, да. Overestimate еще 30 минут. Он как бы за 20 закончит точно. Ладно, за 25.
А надо за 10. Давай, чтоб рывок, чтоб быстренько.
Ну вот молитесь РНГ, чтоб ни один энкаунтер не возник.
All other restreams, thank you all so much for all the work you have done throughout the entire marathon. You're absolutely amazing. And thank you for contributing something for an amazing cause. We're getting Laser Barrage, and as you can see, we will get... Okay, only for 1,000. That's still a lot of damage, but not the 7 or 8k which I have imagined. We're slowly but surely working our way through the inner parts, or should I say, the deep moon with those... can you call this like glass tiles or like crystal tiles? I don't know.
Абсолютно стоит тратить, смотреть. Что там дальше будет? Alien Isolation, точно.
Ну, 10 минут, 11. Он точно не уложится. Press F.
And we're slowly but surely getting to the last zone, but we're still having to fight a lot of these, or having to fight, getting out of these encounters, which are constantly trying to get us by like backstabbing. So we want to counteract that by just cleaning. And as we can see, we are in the last place before we go to the final boss. You know that you're in the last
На Nightmare еще.
because there's like shines and like green light in the background. When you see that stuff, you know you're in the last era before the final boss. So these enemies can also be quite annoying.
3 часа, почти с половиной.
What's it called? They can use a really overpowered move to just instantly wreck you if they want to.
Ну, занятный ран будет.
And they can also cost you time if they have like the battle.
Будем буквально гонять от чужого.
Which they just use analyze on you.
Так что оставайтесь.
I don't know why and how this happened, but instead of the enemy analyzing
Ну, ран Alien
analyzes
Isolations я
itself.
точно смотреть буду, потому что это будет интересно.
I don't know how this
Знаешь,
works,
да.
why this works, and why
Красные
it analyzes
победили.
itself for telling Zemus.
Красный всегда побеждает.
Okay, I guess.
На таких ранах.
And
Ну,
we're
я
hoping
сожалею о том,
this
что не
is the
закинул
last
абсолютно все поинты. Я как бы
last
сомневался,
round
но
for
там через какое-то
Let's
время
hope
было
that this is the
очевидно,
case.
что надо заливать.
The stairs right there.
Подкручиваем
Right
красный,
there.
да-да-да. Как бы
And
комментаторы разделены на два
Now,
лагеря, синие и красные. Красные
Bounce
на
me
финалках
fast.
всегда побеждают.
Let's revive the rest, I guess. And then gotta do mini, entire party. I did battle speed fast, yes, just to be sure. And on to the final boss. We have a couple minutes of cutscenes actually going on. So, Conductor
Zemus.
Arctic, if you're
Финальный
with
босс,
us one
кстати.
more time, please take it away.
Thank you very much, Arkham. We do want to let you all know this is the ESA Summer 21 train bound for Save the Children. We have currently raised $32,554 for Save the Children. We can keep ourselves going much, much higher. If I can just find my lovely little sheet here telling me some totals, I believe we are about to come up to our next donation total at 35,349 is ESA 2014. Do please keep all your donations coming in here as we proceed very quickly on this train through the rest of the marathon.
Okay, so story-wise, we're dealing with the
Кстати, если боги РНГ его благословят, он может уложиться в 50.
Кстати, я вот никогда не замечал, но двойной метеор только что нанес 99 999 урона.
Да.
По идее же максимальная атака это 9999.
Нет, там еще этот. У игры есть еще одно значение, кстати, которое почти никто никогда не видел. Это восклицательный знак урон. Это чуть получается еще больше, потому что реальное значение получается. Хотя это может только для SNES версии действует. Про это я вообще ничего сказать не могу, из-за того, что технически мне не разбирался.
Golbus used a crystal. This would make Zeromus vulnerable. However, because Golbus has a dark history of destroying so many lands, families, places and everything, he has no bright heart, and the crystal will shed no light for you. And as it says, your hands will only stain it darker still. And thus, Zeromus casts Meteor. In the meantime, kills Golbus and Fusoya.
Oh, yeah.
And then that's us.
Ну, кстати, это хорошо.
With 1 HP. And we're now getting a flashback. A lot of people appear now in the upper right corner, telling us, hey, you can't die now. You have to win. With the power of friendship. Like, that's in a nutshell. The power of friendship is gonna heal Cecil and the entire party. The power of friendship is healing everyone.
Ну, файт, кстати, будет длиться еще минимум 3-4 минуты. Так что, если он...
Когда начинается концовка?
А время сразу, как только он убьет этого босса, остановится. Концовка даже не считается во время. То есть, ровно в тот момент, когда он его шотнет, остановится время.
То есть у нас есть еще 5 минут.
Теоретически он может убить его за 5 минут, если РНГ пойдет как надо. Типа вот они встали, и сейчас начнется основной файт.
There have been negative status effects applied to him. Once we attack and kill Seamus, and his shade goes back to the brighter shade again.
Типа вот с этого момента ровно 3 минуты до финала будет, если файт пройдет идеально. То есть сейчас вот будет на кончиках пальцев либо как бы коэффициент для красных, либо победа синих. Because this is another one where timing is key, and we have to be super fast with the menus.
Yes, absolutely. So at the beginning, it's actually sort of chill, like he won't do anything until you use the crystal on him. So we're going to use this time to apply buffs to our entire party, and time it such that when we use the crystal, we hit him with slow, we hit him with cry, all of the debuffs, and then immediately
потом мы кидаем на него кристалл, он начинает нас атаковать.
So right now you can see him using explosions on Kane. Because of the reverse glitch, it will damage him and eventually put him at critical HP. So adrenaline activates, his attacks deal twice as much damage. And then after a while he will activate Haste March, which boosts speed. Here he also casts Haste, which also boosts speed. And then he'll cast Berserk Kane as well. Just like that. And like when Haste March activates, Kane is gonna attack add like
Я очень надеюсь, что он успеет.
But on top of this, he also needs to
do
some damage.
Одно все же интересно.
Поехала,
Even
поехала.
though his
Миссы
attacks
пошли.
are slower, he needs the damage to push him. So here we go. The transformation, haste march, perfect timing.
Give it up for the amazing final boss theme, by the way.
Yeah.
Сейчас, кстати, он его, по идее, шотнуть может.
Слово, кстати, сработал. Отлично.
I forgot to come adrenaline!
Отлично.
Wait, did I?
No.
Край работает.
I think I just had a really low damage roll. Could that
Yeah,
be the case?
Probably.
Oh my god. Oh yeah. We have...
Сейчас он
Random low damage
ошибся.
roll.
Dude, I'm
Мисс.
getting scared
Отлично.
for nothing right now.
Нет.
I should use
Давай.
Gungnir is gonna deal a bunch of damage if it's hit. But that's a problem. It has to connect first.
Yeah.
О,
Gungnir, please hit!
So we can actually manipulate sort of which attacks he will go for. And he has like some attacks that are like completely garbage. Like one of his moves is just to shake. It doesn't do anything.
Yes.
And here's another one, Osmos, which doesn't do anything either. So that's like perfect.
Ай.
It's like the
Босс кидается дебафами, они убивают
the less HP he
ДПС.
has. Like which attack he'll go for is dependent on how much HP he has left.
Ну, блин, он
So
может
if you
уложиться,
damage
кстати.
him enough before he gets attacked,
минута.
you can try
Полторы
to
минуты, давай.
likely to use like
Ну не, если он...
bad
Давай,
attacks.
пару миссов еще,
'Cause he
пару
has some
миссов,
terrible
чтобы...
attacks.
Красным нужна победа.
Meteor, which heals Kane, puts him out of
Синий
the
верит в Райнера. Нет.
and then he has Black Hole, which removes all buffs to your party. So you have to reapply
Минута
them.
30.
Also,
Минута 30.
as you can see, I'm going like into the attack menu and going out of it. Because that triggers what the wait mode does. And it's kind of like ADP wait trick. If we do that, then...
Я верю,
Давай,
давай.
еще целая минута есть. Целая
ATB
минута.
cannot
Давай, один удар по Кирину. Это будет изи.
So I think
Ты
we're getting
сможешь.
somewhat close
Давай.
to the end now.
Ты же такой сильный босс.
Oh, okay, there we have
Okay, we're
Meteor.
like 1 or 2 hits away. Like,
Yeah. The moment his body gets like bright again.
Yes,
when we
yes,
have
он
time.
похилил его, он его похилил. Отлично, отлично. Теперь он
this
наносит
should be
меньше
happening,
дэмэджа.
like, right now. Okay, next attack, probably. Okay, the next attack, probably.
The next one.
Yep, GG.
30 секунд еще.
There we have it.
GG.
Time. Well done.
Целых 30 секунд.
Okay, so I timed the run myself as well, just to see how badly I
Ладно,
performed.
ура! Синий,
The
победили.
time I got was 3:49,
А,
which
Впервые, впервые.
like what?
Мало того, что уложился в стимейт, так еще и в наш
Yeah.
стимейт уложился.
Блин, 32 секунды. Ну, один удар по ДПС, и все было.
Баба, прошу, объявляй победу.
It's crazy. Like
Ой.
the start of the run looked really good, but everything went down drain later, really fast. And world record is a
Он дал
3:36 by
такой
the way, just
хороший
FYI.
тайм.
Okay, I don't think I can talk for
Мои
too long
поинты.
because the next runner is probably up there.
Хорошо, что ты все не поставил.
Starting to set up
Да.
now for the stream.
Увы.
Some closing words from my side. First of all,
Вот эти финалки
big shout-outs to
интересны, да.
my amazing commentators.
Ну, блин, если бы он еще хотя бы пару раз, один раз промазал, и
for doing
все.
an absolute
Да.
phenomenal job being here
Есть
with me
такое.
today.
Ну, он так
Showing
довольно-таки
off
много
this
раз
run
промазал.
to all of you guys. Thank you all of you for the amazing commentary. The Only Kid and Arctic, thank you two very much for what you have provided me throughout the run. Absolutely amazing. You guys are absolute legends. German Tree Stream, thank you so much for the opportunities I had to work with you. To the Japanese restream, Soru Ashiria-san. Arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you very much for doing the commentary for FF4. Shoutouts to the entire ESA staff that I was allowed to take part in this run.
Ну,
It
удача
is my
удача
first run
оказалась на его
in a
стороне.
marathon, so I am super happy that I was able to show this off, especially for the amount of work and time I put into this game. over the years. I want to thank you all very much for everything. And I want to give a very special
Что,
thanks
наш ран
to a good
благодарит
friend of
всех,
mine, Skate for a
всех, кто
living.
смотрел. Это его,
If
кстати,
it
первый
weren't
ран на
for Skate
марафоне,
for a living,
что
I
самое
would
интересное.
probably not sit here today and would speedrun this video game. He has speedran
Ему
Final Fantasy
понравились
12 back in the
комментаторы.
day, and
Комментатор,
that
который
got me into
с
speedrunning in
этим
the first
фильтром
place.
кондуктора.
Аргик, да,
Shoutouts to
он
him
просто гений.
for being the
Да,
biggest inspiration for getting me into speedrunning.
действительно
Yeah,
забавно было.
and what else
Ну, он
is there to
хорошо, кстати,
say? Yeah.
поднял
Follow
интерес к
Bendash if
донату
you
и
want to
ко
see some
всему
more FF4.
происходящему.
Same if you want to follow me.
О, я как
There will
раз
always
вернул
be some more FF4
3000
stuff,
поинтов,
as well as Final Fantasy
которые
12.
потерял утром.
Speaking of Final Fantasy 12, this one
Хорошо.
will also happen tomorrow around the same time.
Ну, что
Don't miss
поделать.
that one.
Мои 420
And
поинтов уходят
yeah,
команде синих.
if you feel like watching more of
А,
this,
я вернул.
I'm trying to stream almost every other
Интересно,
day
сколько он
this
получил?
game. And yeah, with that said, thank you all for
61
watching. Thank you all
100
for having me.
поинтов.
Thank you
Не,
all
это
ESA chat. Thank you
получил
all
он
for
и еще
donating.
10 пользователей.
And
А,
I'll give it over to the next one, which is, if I remember correctly, Alien Isolation, correct?
You are correct.
Он
Yep,
получил
it is
тоже
going to
неплохо.
be
Где-то,
Alien
по-моему, 14
Isolation
тысяч.
race coming up here between
13
Nibelheart
600.
and Dryux. You are not going to want to miss this
Клап,
because
клап.
there's a bit of a twist on it.
Кто-то
But there we go.
поднялся.
That is it. This has been Final Fantasy IV. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back, ready for the next run.
Раны
Best
Final
of luck, you
Fantasy, они
two.
всегда такие. Ты такой
Thank you,
смотришь,
everyone.
вроде бы все
Have a good
хорошо
one.
идет, а потом хоп, и раннер впервые
Have you
укладывается
checked
сквозь
out
тиммейта еще даже
speedrunstore.com yet?
раньше.
100